a black grand national. Fuck being rational. Give them what they ask for. It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that are really stepped, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on their ass. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I made them niggas mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I ain't take the G back. Shit, watch a nigga do it. We survived outside, all from the music, nigga. What? They like, what he on? This the Alpha and Omega, bitch. Welcome home. This is not a song. This is a revelation. How to get a nigga gone. I need you a man, baby. I don't understand, baby. Pay a bill and make you feel protected like I can, baby. Teach you something if you need correction. That's the plan, baby. Don't put your life in these weird niggas' hands, baby. Whoa! It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that are really stepped, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on their ass. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I made them niggas mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take the G back. Yeah, watch a nigga do it. We survived outside, all from the music, nigga. What? Hey, turn this TV off. Ain't with my type activities, then don't you get involved. Hey, what? How many shit I seen? Seen them all. Take a risk or take a trip. You know I'm tripping for my dog. Who you with? Couple sergeants and routines for the get back. This revolution been televised. I fell through with the knickknacks. Hey, young nigga, get your chili up. Yeah, I admit that. Hey, black out if they act out. Yeah, I did that. Hey, what's up, though? I hate a bitch that's hating on a bitch and they both hoes. I hate a nigga hating on them niggas and they both broke. If you ain't coming for no chili, what you come for? Nigga feel like he entitled cause he knew me since a kid. Bitch, I cut my granny off and she don't see it how I see it. Got a big mouth, but he lack big ideas. Send him to the moon, that's just how I feel, yeah. Then it's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that are really stepped, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. Somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn this TV off, turn this TV off. 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 Ain't no other king in this rap thing, they siblings. Nothing but my children. One shot, they disappearing. I'm in a city with a flag, we getting thrown like it was past interference.
Nothing changes. All I want is a moment to think clearly. But thoughts come unrelenting, consuming every waking moment. My mind reminds me, and I can't escape. I shout for help, but no one hears me. One day I feel I'll just disappear. Lost in this chaos, I'm searching for peace.
Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to the Dirt Sheet Radio Royal Rumble Rewind. It is February the 1st, 2025. I'm Tyler, the Pro Wrestling Hipster, here with Little Molly Holly and...
What up, everybody? It's John Escudero, the founder of Dirt Sheet Radio. I'm here to talk about the Royal Rumble. What a fucking show, brother.
This was a good one. I'm going to be honest. This is one of the ones in recent years that I really enjoyed. It was pretty concise show, only 4 matches total. They kept it sweet. They got in there. They did what they wanted to do. But I mean, we got to talk about it. Well, correct. Before we get into it, guys, shout out to our partner on the web, comicbookclick.com. That's comicbookclick.com/dirtsheetradio for all your comic book, pop culture, entertainment, professional wrestling needs, all in one convenient location. Make it your homepage. Look at it multiple times a day, just like we do. Not because we're legally obligated, but because we love to do it. But we got to get into this. John, I think shocker of shocks, a surprise finish if there was one to it. Main event, Jey Uso. Oh, okay, Molly, fine. Be rude. Main event, Jey Uso. Main eventing WrestleMania, winning the Men's Royal Rumble in 80 minutes and 13 seconds. Obviously, he wasn't in there for that length of time. That was the length of the match itself. But Jey Uso eliminating John Cena, coming down to those two. My jaw was actually...
I have words, man. I think I represent a side of the fan base, but I wanna be as I want to be as concise with my argument as possible. I don't want people to try to tear it apart with the obvious bullshit. Okay, Jey Uso is the most over guy one of the most over guys in the WWE, easily. And he has been since he was still in the bloodline. Okay, I understand this. I understand why WWE would do something like having Jey Uso eliminate John Cena and win the Royal Rumble. I think it's uncomfortable for me because I think Jey Uso is not my favorite kind of wrestler. He's not a lot of people's favorite kind of wrestler. He's a
special attraction.
He's a special attraction. He's a character. He is a catchphrase. And that's not saying that the guy is not good at his job, which is performing in the ring. He is great at it. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to convey the feelings and emotions that make you want to yeet with him. I get that. I'm with you on that train. I see how his movements work. I see what makes him popular. I also see a wrestler whose main event matches don't compel me. I see a wrestler who has had time after time in that big spot and has bored me to tears. I think of Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. And I think about how much expectation went into that match and how everybody was let down. I think about Jey Uso versus Gunther.
Jimmy. Oh, I was going to say Jimmy. Jesus.
Oh, Jey. I don't even want to talk about versus Jimmy because you know what? I will give them that wasn't a main event spot and it didn't have those kind of expectations on it.
It had better expectations than it gave, though.
It did suck, like all the way through, objectively. But like when Jey Uso eliminated John Cena in this match, and we're going to talk about, I guess, the rest of the things that happened because there was a lot of story elements of the Royal Rumble that had to be spoken about. But just to talk about this Jey Uso thing immediately off the back, I laughed. All right, it wasn't even like on purpose. It was just like a immediate feeling like I laughed. Like, this is fucking hilarious, bro. Like, I cannot believe you guys actually did this. And that was my reflex reaction. Now, like, again, I understand how we got here, but when I think of the possible Jey Uso WrestleMania matches, come on, bro. What are we doing? Versus Gunther again?
It's going to be him and Gunther. They're not going to put
ass. Well, this just going through the possibilities, not my actual prediction of what's going to happen, because I do have a prediction, and it's very different from what I'm going to talk about now. But just kind of looking at the prospect for what could be the title match, it ain't going to be Jey Uso versus Gunther. Like, no, you just ran this match on a secondary show, like, and did it all the way through. They didn't do a match where they left things behind.
No, and it was like decisive. It was basically Jey Uso was getting his offense in. Gunther was like, "All right, I'm done playing with you now." Powerbomb, 1, 2, 3. That's it. Like that's basically how that match went. So
no, I was gonna say, and then it's certainly not gonna be the Cody Rhodes match because I know as over as Jey Uso is, and as much as people enjoy him, and again, I didn't think the company saw him at a place where they would even put him as, the Royal Rumble winner. So maybe they do see him as this guy that's worthy of the actual full-on Night 2 WrestleMania main event against Cody Rhodes. What's up, Greg? Thank you for joining us. Chauncey. Oh, no, Chauncey, you were talking about our boy DJ Danny Ocean. He's still at the press room in the WWE Royal Rumble, or wherever the fuck they are, in Indianapolis. I forgot the name of the arena. Jeff?
Lucas Oil.
That's a shitty name. Jeff, thank you for joining us. Speed has a t-shirt. I'm going to buy that shit because, oh boy, one of my favorite performances of the night, and it was very fast. But just getting back to the Jey Uso thing. Go ahead, Tyler.
Oh, I was actually going to speak something on John Cena. If you still something on Jey, I can wait to hop over to that.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. So, because again, we're talking about potential Jey Uso world title matches, and I don't see either of them happening. So then you would think that might mean maybe Gunther's going to drop the title to somebody that Jey Uso could wrestle at WrestleMania. That would suck. But who story wise, who makes sense right now for Jey Uso? I don't think he has any hanging threads. I don't think, because the bloodline thing is over. Right, he's reunited. His cousin loves him again. Right, so who's a mortal enemy that he would have to face at WrestleMania? It would just be someone new. And again, when I think of Jey Uso, I don't think dream matches. I think like Yeet versus Yeah. You know, like, like that kind of shit. That's not main event, man. That's WrestleMania mid card. I think that because of this, I don't think Jey Uso is actually getting a world title match. I actually don't think. I think he's gonna get fucked over midway through this road to WrestleMania.
Okay.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, and again, we're so early. There's so many missing pieces to the puzzle. You know.
Anyway that CM Punk calls in his favor with Heyman. Heyman somehow does some crazy Heyman legalese and gets CM Punk a match with Jey Uso for the slot.
I think based on what we saw at the end of the Royal Rumble here between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, I think they have a whole other direction that doesn't involve a world championship for either of those guys.
It's fine, honestly.
It is. It's just like Greg is saying here. Greg thinks he's going to get the world title match, but it won't be the main event. I think that's guaranteed. No matter what the fuck Jey Uso does, that man is not main evented night 2, not even night 1. No. That's part of my issue. That's my biggest issue with the Royal Rumble thing. I think a lot of people are like, you know, this match used to be the match where we built young stars and put over new stars for the main event of WrestleMania. And I would argue that. I think that there are times when it has been used to elevate a new star. I think that more often than not, it was unsuccessful in that regard. But I think it is. They've tried. I don't think that was ever like a staple of the Royal Rumble. You know, like this wasn't like the Money in the Bank contract. You know, like
yeah. I mean, when you think about you know, going back to the early '90s, you know, some of your early winners, you know, you're looking at like Hogan, hyper established when he won the Rumble. Ric Flair, multi-time world champion when he won the Rumble and the world title in the '92 Rumble. You know, like Steve Austin already had a rocket strap to him. I think the Rumble was the way to get him to Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14. But you could argue that he didn't need the Rumble to get him elevated there. So, you know, I never actually thought about it. You know, Johnny, in my head, I always thought of the Rumble as this way to elevate it. But now I'm kind of thinking, who has it truly elevated?
I can't think of anyone. Maybe like I mean, it's a plot device, right? Usually, when you go into the Royal Rumble, you have enough momentum to just kind of use the plot device to get you to the other side. It isn't usually like the rocket, you know, like you don't go in cold and then come out the other side hot. You know what I'm saying? Like not usually. But you know, that being said, with the Jey Uso thing, I guess when someone wins the Royal Rumble, I kind of like it when it's like, okay, now we know we got some main event shit coming up. Like, oh man, this dude just. I hate when a fucking guy wins the Royal Rumble and it's a mid-card match. When Sheamus won the Royal Rumble and he opened with Bryan Danielson in 2012 and they did 28 seconds. When Nakamura won the Royal Rumble and him and AJ had the fucking 17-minute match in the middle of the card at WrestleMania. I hate when a fucking mid-card thing wins the Royal Rumble. That's just my thing. Jey Uso, call him main event all you want. And again, clearly this company thinks of him much higher than I ever thought that they did. Right? Maybe they actually see him as main event Jey Uso. Hey, The Rock is on the board, okay? The Samoans all getting pushed now. I'm just saying, if maybe they actually are going to put him in the fucking main event of WrestleMania, all right? But as
I have to say, so a buddy of mine, he messaged me during the Rumble tonight, and he was like, so my wife does not really watch wrestling at all. And he's like, and she's confused as to like where all these Samoans came from.
Like, the same ancestral nutsack. Greg does bring up Benoit and Batista in 04 and 05. But most winners were established stars. Yeah, again, like I said, there were some times for sure where a guy comes in and wins. Benoit is the one that I think is most similar to Jey Uso in that he was for a long time in a certain position. It wasn't tag team for him. It was I wouldn't say cruiserweight, but they saw him as like a technical guy, like a mechanic for a long time, and he had world title matches, but he lost, and he was never past like the upper mid card. And then he comes and he wins the Royal Rumble, and they give him like the actual push, and he actually wins the world title. I don't have the same feeling about it, and maybe it's because of the two different kinds of wrestlers they are, and one's a catchphrase guy, and one is probably one of the greatest in ring wrestlers to ever exist. Not talking about his personal life. Clearly, he's a bad man. But that that's probably the closest status wise. Benoit is who I could think of when it comes to Jey Uso. But no bullshit. I don't think at any point leading into this Royal Rumble, I actually thought Jey Uso had a fucking chance. Benoit leading to the Rumble was like, they had a whole storyline about how he was getting fucked and everything, and like Heyman was gonna fuck him over and make him he made him number one or whatever. And you knew there was a story going into the Rumble. And you kind of felt like, is Benoit gonna do it tonight? And then he did it. Jey Uso was like, I just lost a world title match like 3 weeks ago. I hope I can do it again. And then he just does.
Well, and like of all of the kind of go home promos that were given and a lot of wrestlers were given time to really kind of make their case and try to convince the general audience that they had a fucking shot at winning this thing. And his was probably one of the weaker ones. He came out, he's like, I got my ass kicked Saturday. Yeet. I'm going to win maybe on Saturday. Yeet. And that was it.
He said, listen, I know I can beat Gunther. You give me another chance. Well, then. Okay. Now, look, the John Cena thing, I know a lot of people are heartbroken about John Cena specifically. I don't think that breaks my heart at all, if only because I think we even talked about it on Dirt Sheet Radio last week, where I kind of saw like John Cena doing a thing where he just thought he was ready, but he isn't yet. And he has to work his way up.
He tonight on the press conference, he did say he didn't take any questions. He just made a statement, and in that statement, he said that he was declaring himself for the Elimination Chamber. That he's put in enough time and effort for this company that it's a given that he should be allowed, and it's a request that they should grant him.
I like that he said that. I love that he said that, actually, because otherwise, how do you declare for the Elimination Chamber when nobody ever does that? But he's like, I'm John Cena, actually, and I want that. So give it to me because you have to. I dig that.
Yeah, I said he's like, look, he's like, this is it. Like, I have done everything you guys have asked me to do for the entirety of my career. I'm going to be in this chamber match. I'm getting this opportunity, this chance to, be in a title match at WrestleMania. So there's still a chance, Cena. There's still a chance for Cena to get number 17 at WrestleMania.
I think Greg says cashing in my chips. That's how he usually says it. He's always got some really goofy neighborly white guy thing to say. Like, it's his catchphrases and his shits are like but anyway, yeah, I even mentioned to Greg, like, I thought he might go to WrestleMania against Cody and lose because one, I don't think it benefits Cody to lose to John Cena here at all. But they have been telling a story where the belt is weighing on him and maybe he loses his way leading into the match. Whatever. There are ways to tell the story where Cody comes out okay, but I think as it is face value, I don't think Cody can accept that loss to John Cena. Like if they went face to face as they are right now, full baby face versus full baby face, I don't think that benefits Cody at all. First, he gets dwarfed by Cena. The hands down.
The only like small sliver of benefit I could, just a devil's advocate a little bit here, would be that getting that belt off of Cody is going to be slightly problematic whenever you do it. At least with Cena, people would be like, it's Cena. You know what I mean? Like, so like there might be a little less damage done, but I don't know. You're also risking the fact that Cody walks that line that, he tumbled over in AEW when everyone turned on him. And he knows that, and I think they know that, and he's walking that line very, very well. But putting him up against someone as, powerfully popular as Cena could potentially push him back over that line again. I don't think they want that to happen.
Greg wants us to just be glad that it wasn't Goldberg who won the Royal Rumble.
You know what? I am thrilled that it wasn't Goldberg, actually. So I will. You know what? Silver lining. Be grateful for the things you do have in this world. and Goldberg is not going to fucking WrestleMania. At least not in the main event. There's still a chance he could be involved, guys. Don't get that twisted.
I think it's such a weird thing. Like I never want to say like I'm glad I'm so angry that the younger talent just beat the part-time legend who's in his last year. Like that doesn't. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, Jey Uso, I'm mad. I just thought I just made me. It honestly, truly made me laugh. Andre wants to know: is WWE having a press conference for WrestleMania hype like last year? Oh, like that February kickoff deal.
I think I would probably assume they're going to.
Honestly,
it did good numbers.
I don't know. Like, because when they did it last time, it wasn't like they were establishing a new tradition. I feel like they wanted to do a plot episode of WWE television. Like we don't have any matches, but we are going to further stories here.
Right.
Just full on. And they got to do the Roman, Cody, Seth, Rock thing, which was like one of the cooler things, one of the cooler WrestleMania builds ever.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to fuck that up by doing like a cheap one this year without Dwayne. Like I wouldn't. Well, I guess you have Cena and you could do like a big thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't, because John Cena seems to be like, okay, I don't know how hands-on he is with this story this final year. The way he presented in these press conferences is like he's hands-off and he just wants them to do whatever. But I don't know if that's actually the case, right? He's just,
I mean, I'm sure he has a little bit of input. Like, if there's something he doesn't want to do, they're probably going to respect him, be like, hey, like, can we, Although he doesn't really strike me as the type to, at this point, to like, hit them with that doesn't work for me, brother.
Not even that, but the way Dwayne was involved in his story, it was so cool. And I know people have issues with hearing that he can be in charge of his shit the way he is. Like he can slide shit right off the table. It doesn't matter how long it's been planned. But his input with that story, Cody, the Roman, it gave their story a whole new layer. Like it wasn't just a wrestling story. I think John Cena's gonna come and he's not gonna have those kind of stories that Dwayne did, which is why I don't think that he could carry one of those Super Bowl kickoff things story-wise like that unless they were willing to put in that kind of effort, which they haven't ever since Dwayne left. So like, but I guess we might as well talk about the rest of the Rumble. Greg brings up the plot episode of Raw where they had the blizzard. That's right. But didn't Roman and Brock have to do that weird tug of war belt thing in a room on that episode? That was
oh man, that was awkward.
That was a strange segment. But Jay says, who do I think Jey will choose? He's kind of hinted that it's going to be the world title. It's going to be Gunther. He's not going to go after Cody. Cody's his friend, apparently.
They're buddies.
But yeah, we can talk about the rest of the Rumble.
All right.
Tyler, take us through it, my friend.
All right. So our first entrant tonight was Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. And then the number two, and I mean, how do you really delineate between number one and number two? The match doesn't really start till both guys are there, so whatever. But number two was Penta, which led to like an immediate excitement to the match. The crowd was hot for this pretty much immediately. They shook hands. Penta did not release the handshake, and then they went at it. This was cool. It was a nice little taste of this. It'll be wonderful when they can revisit this in the future and give them more time for this. But John, what'd you think of the opening here?
I thought Penta's feet touched the floor. We're all just gonna act like it didn't, because I was like, there's nothing else. There's a spot where Rey Mysterio and Penta go over the top rope, and Penta's supposed to not skin the cat, but rebound back. And this is where it's so funny to me that they get so bold with these camera shots. Right. Always. Like they could expose the whole thing. And we were like, fuck it, 1 foot. But it happened. That didn't really affect the opening though. This was cool seeing Rey and Penta go at it.
Barrett tried to cover for it too. He did
1 foot.
But yeah, he tried. So the consummate professional, Wade Barrett.
One of the cool things about the early part of the Rumble was that it was a lot of the smaller, not like they weren't all luchadors, but it was a lot of the more work rate wrestlers. Like, you have the match order, so you'll go over them as we come out. But Ray and Penta weren't the only ones out here who can fly and move and shoot and fucking hoop, baby.
No, moving through our next, and they were doing 2-minute intervals tonight, right?
Supposedly.
Yeah, there was a couple times where it felt faster than
yeah.
Specifically in the men's, it felt like there were a few that came out very, very quickly, but that was like in the mid-20s. But the third entrant we had tonight was Chad Gable, and of course they played into the story that Chad has a lot of issues with luchadors.
That was funny. He had to come out to his worst nightmare out there. Yeah, just a ring full of luchadors.
Yeah, this was just hell for the American-made Chad Gable. Next out, we had Carmelo Hayes, not a luchador, but can fly and move around. Out fifth in kind of the luchador category, we did have Santos Escobar. So things still not being.
That was cool. We got King Cuernos, the Lucha Underground alumni against Penta, his fellow Lucha Underground alumni. I actually don't know if they've wrestled. I imagine that they have, but I can't remember for sure. Someone in the comments will let me know. No Wyatts or Cross to be seen. Thanks for joining us, Jumping Jeff Farmer. And you're right. And I'm not sure if that's a bad thing.
Honestly,
I'm sorry.
I don't think it makes sense for what the Wyatts are as characters to have been in the Rumble. It doesn't make any sense for any of them to care about main eventing WrestleMania. That's not what they're about.
Or to get thrown out and lose right now. It looks weird if Uncle Howdy's on his ass. I think that's a lot of the thing for some of the people that people were surprised didn't show up, the Becky Lynches, etc. It's like, did you want them to get dumped over the top rope unceremoniously? But again, we'll get through the men's match.
Yep. So far, no eliminations yet. So still rocking and rolling. Otis was out next. Not a luchador, but hates Chad Gable. So that was a another rough break for old Gabesy. Next out, we had Braun Breaker. Crowd pop pretty big for Breaker. Want to point out his singlet had Steiner math all over it. Thought that was
yes. Cool. Yes, like, I gotta get a good screenshot of that. I didn't have
couldn't either. The closest one I got was like his knee was like folded down. It was after he had, well, we'll get to what he did. I don't want to say yet. But then we finally had our first elimination. Carmelo Hayes gets tossed by Braun Breaker. Shortly thereafter, Escobar again by Braun Breaker. All right. So this is when things got kind of. This is our comedy spot. Every Rumble has a couple good comedy spots, right? That's just normal. Akira Tozawa making his way to the ring, and I'm like, okay, they're putting Tozawa in. That's a Luke Bushwhacker type of choice, but here we go. Fair enough. And he gets like just whacked from behind, and for some reason, IShowSpeed is hanging out at Gorilla because that's what you do, right? When you're a famous YouTuber. And Triple H is like, well,
to be fair to them, they set it up beforehand, saying that Speed and Kai Cenat would be allowed to stream backstage, and even if in the Gorilla, if you want. So like they specifically said, even in the Gorilla, like it was like Chekhov's gun, like now it has to happen.
I actually gotta give him credit for that. Then that's that. I can't get mad at it not making sense because now it makes sense. I mean, it makes less sense that a guy wearing Crocs would be like, "Sure, I'll do this."
Hey, those are not Crocs. You guys, those are fucking Yeezys. They're
not better, John.
They're sneakers. Not better. They just look funny. But I thought that was funny.
Funny. That's the word I'd use. Funny. Yeah.
No, I did want to say too, IShowSpeed, for anybody who's not aware, probably one of, if not the most popular streamer in the world. And when you think to yourself, what's a streamer? Like, what's that mean? Like, how big could that possibly be? In today's world, most streamers are getting viewed more than the largest television shows on any platform by tens and hundreds of millions of people internationally. And IShowSpeed is one of those people, that probably one of the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you think of a stereotypical, like, who's the biggest streamer in the world, you're thinking of a dude like IShowSpeed. So this, and I understand a lot of people who watch a show like the one we're doing now, and who watch wrestling and have been for a long time, just won't be hip to that. That makes sense. There's nothing really wrong with that. But you should understand that this is actually a great, great, great moment. Like, whoever the fuck you would have thought was your top celebrity at your peak of pro wrestling getting involved in wrestling, like, this is probably that for so many people. Okay?
Sorry, Greg's comment. I was thinking the same thing. Abe Simpson, man. I used to be with it, but then they changed what it is, and now what it is, I find scary and confusing. It will happen to you.
So
it will, guys, just so you know, because I didn't know who IShowSpeed was until his involvement in wrestling. But again, just like I didn't know who Bad Bunny was before his involvement in wrestling, I as a man getting ready to turn 40, can understand people are famous that I don't know who they are anymore because I'm turning 40. You know what I mean? Like, my finger is not on the the bung hall of pop culture anymore.
It's gonna be I thought when they first announced that these streamers were gonna be there, one of the cooler things for me was gonna be that I know that they stream live, like they do, like like life, like the camera just follows them with no cut, right? So they're just existing. So that's what one of their streams are. They will just go around existing in these situations that only they can exist in because they have a little more power and influence now that they've been around. So there, I knew that they would have like secondary footage, like backstage, like they would be streaming live their own shit. So that's why when Speed comes out, he kind of has his own camera crew that have smaller cameras chasing him around, which gave us this great video here of Speed in the ring that we could use thanks to them having video and not WWE being like fucking bastards about it.
Streamer.
But I guess you could. I mean, I guess you could pretty much tell us how we got to this point before we actually show.
Yeah. So real quick, right before we get here, IShowSpeed hits the ring, and he tries to help with some eliminations, and is successful in aiding Braun Breaker in eliminating Otis. And it was official. Michael Cole said that it goes into the record books that IShowSpeed has an elimination in the Royal Rumble, much like Drew Carey. Just want to say, okay,
he does.
Parties. He eliminated
both of them.
Yeah, together, and then he ran from Kane. Anyway, so boom, elimination. IShowSpeed's pretty happy. He's very happy. In fact, he's distracted by this and doesn't notice that Braun Breaker is Sonic the Hedgehog speeding up behind him and just nails his ass with one of the most crippling-looking spears I have seen in my life.
It is, honestly.
It's insane.
It's like... I knew that he would take a bump because the kid's pretty physical. Like, he does a lot of physical things. He's honestly an incredible athlete. This guy,
he did a standing backflip moments before this.
He can run with like Olympic level speed, but I didn't think he would take a bump like this. That's incredible. That's fucking out. That's insane.
Yeah, that's leaps and bounds above the RKO he took at Mania.
Like, Jesus Christ! I'm not even religious, and I would find.
Like,
one after that.
A little stiff. Like, do you think he put in a little extra on that little mustard, as it would be? I think he's like, this is a YouTube kid. Like, I'm gonna really fucking nail him for my uncle and my dad.
I bet there's some of that, but I bet that this kid said something like, "Trust me, you really gotta get me. Don't worry about it. Like, I can take it," or something to that effect.
Right.
Eduardo!
Yeet,
Yeet.
sir.
Yeah, you can't unyeet. It is yeet season. You just can't.
Yeah.
You can't fight it.
Yeetamania.
But yeah, for
Yeetamania.
I think like okay, even if you don't understand or care right about speed, after taking a bump like that, he's got to be. Come on, like you've got to have a little.
Credit to the
You got to
kid.
give the kid some credit. That's insane. That's fucking
Oh,
bananas.
absolutely. BANANAS, yes.
This kid's funny though. It's funny. Anytime you cut to him, he's doing some insane side mission shit. Like, oh, where's Speed today? He's in the Royal Rumble. What the fuck? He's like a fucking character from the regular show. It's incredible. Honestly, I don't.
His life is real life Quantum Leap, except he's not trying to like solve anything necessarily.
Just keeps getting pulled into random situations. Like they did it. Like they set it up where Triple H actually was telling him like, "Go get in there now." He's like, "What? I'm not ready for this shit." So it was a great skit. This might have been one of my favorite Royal Rumble celebrity skits ever. I don't think I've ever seen a better one than this. The whole thing from the setup to the execution, full on. I love this.
And again, just the bump was just absolutely insane. So credit where credit's due. And this did lead to IShowSpeed being eliminated by Bliss.
Of course.
Yeah. Next out, we had.
Congratulations. I guess I don't really know because I don't watch sports.
Same. I don't watch those.
It's $5. $5 if anybody can explain what Quantum Leap is. Fuck you, Greg.
like explain in what capacity. Like I can talk about like what it was as a TV show. I can't explain like the fucking science behind it. But I digress. Out next in the number 9 slot, we had Sheamus. And again, John, if anything particular like pops into your head as like happened as these things happen, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just kind of plowing through.
Yeah.
Over here. Out next, we had the crowd heard Uso and got real excited for like a quarter of a second, and then they realized it was Jimmy, and they were still kind of excited, but much lesser so, which I felt kind of bad for Jimmy over that. But number 10 was Jimmy. Out at 11, we had Andrade. Cole mentioning, of course, that he made his return to WWE last year at the Royal Rumble. Next out, we had Jacob Fatu. And this led into some eliminations finally. The ring was getting a little full here. So Jacob just starts plowing through people. He eliminates Chad Gable. He eliminates Rey Mysterio and Andrade in pretty quick succession of one another. And that was just, I mean, it makes sense that they gave him that.
Overall, I want to say this Royal Rumble kind of gave us a real good view of how WWE sees him. I mean, I think you already got a sense that they had some idea of what they have. You know, I think they're fully aware of what Jacob Fatu could be for them because he was facing off and staring down with like so many of the top main event guys. Yep. And generally, you don't do things like that unless you want to set things up for later. Like, they set up a lot of cool shit. You know, this Braun Breaker, Jacob Fatu shit, whenever that goes down, that's going to be a really big deal because it's clear Braun Breaker is the one. Like, he's not any kid. He's not just a project. He's their one. He's like that guy. He's going to sit up there with where Roman Reigns is right now. That's what they want and expect from Braun Breaker. So anybody that they're doing things like this with Braun, if they succeed in helping him become that, they're gonna get rewarded very fucking well. You know, like the same way Seth Rollins and the other people ended up. Because you can't be the Roman Reigns, but if you can get him to be the Roman Reigns, we can sit you next to him, under him. You know.
Hey, well, it's a 1A. It's number 1 and 1A kind of a thing. Like they can get in there. Like. Yeah, he was just going on tear, and the tirade was stopped by Jimmy Uso with a super kick.
He's special though, man.
Oh yeah, he's and the crowd knows it, and it's just like they've got to be wishing that they'd had him in the place of Solo.
I disagree. I think Solo did his job because that's what they wanted. I think obviously when they first put Solo in the bloodline, they would have wanted him to be like a Jacob Fatu type.
Yeah.
But by the time they actually brought Jacob Fatu in, I think they were well aware that they were going to do. Yeah, like Solo was something else, and he served his purpose in that story, and he got all the things that they wanted him to get, and he hit all the marks they wanted him to hit. I don't think by this point, I don't think they expected him to be the Jacob Fatu. I think they expected something different from Solo Sikoa, especially when you have Jacob Fatu already. Like this is that Umaga-esque, monster, but even better because he's got so much fucking promo charisma. Like Jesus,
it was something I feel like I want to say I said at one point in time that like he feels like if Umaga had not passed away and had more time to develop the character into something with a little more depth, this is kind of I think what would have happened with it. And I really do feel like he is the spiritual successor to what Umaga was doing, and he's fucking phenomenal.
He's got this genuine energy that I said before. Like I'm from the hood. I'm from the Bronx. I grew up in the South Bronx. Just because I enunciate now doesn't mean I don't know what the fuck it is. Jacob Fatu got that real hood energy that you don't get from everybody. That I say you kind of get from you only ever got from like New Jack. Or and now I said Jada Parker has some of that generic energy. And like now fucking Jacob Fatu is here, and when he grabs that mic, he brings that shit out, and it's beautiful. I love it. I love how it translates.
It feels real because it is. Like he's incredible. He is absolutely incredible.
Oh god, that's fucked up. Solo's a Chrysler 300. He looks like a Phantom until a Phantom pulls up. Damn. Oh jeez.
Ruthless.
I don't mind a Chrysler 300. Damn it, they're both expensive.
It still looks good. All right, in the number 13 slot, we had Ludwig Kaiser, and holy hell, number 13 was unlucky for him because he waited a couple moments to get in the ring, hops in, and Penta just takes him the hell out. So,
do you think that they are trying to get the 1 second? Like, do you think like that's the goal? But if you don't get it, that's okay.
Yeah, I think so because Cole said like that might be a record. We're going to have to check on that. So. It feels like they are going for that if they can get it, and it's going to be
hard.
Yeah, because
it's not just you, right? It's not just Ludwig. Like he has to get there, and the other guy has to be ready, like now.
Right
so,
there.
I think I missed this elimination, so I don't know who I would blame. Like, right? So, but I like to imagine that there is a race, and like when they send a guy to do the instant spot, like they're genuinely trying to hit the second, but it's not always possible. Like a little game, like you can get your name in the record if you hit it. So it might, like you might think of it like a bad for Ludwig, but like he's the guy who got to play the game this year, so like that's fun. That's fun.
Well, and I'm sure this is going to lead into a match with him and Penta,
right?
Yeah, because they also had that stare down between them that didn't air in the States on Raw, but it aired internationally on Raw Monday, but. That tracks. But yeah, so he had the hyper short near second or second elimination this year. That takes us into number 14. That was The Miz. After The Miz, this was probably the first like major surprise of the night. TNA champion Joe Hendry. Crowd was pretty hyped for that. And this was an interesting order. We went from Joe Hendry at 15 to Roman Reigns at 16.
Scary times.
That was an interesting juxtaposition, I thought.
I thought, okay, listen. Man, say whatever you want, man. I thought that was fucking hilarious. To me, this was the funniest shit all weekend. He comes out.
Welcome to the WWE, Joe. Here's our Joe. Like it was Joe on Joe violence. That's what this was.
They sent him out there, TNA World Champion. And Roman Owens just jobbed him. Get the fuck out of here with your fucking meme.
They set him up. They set him up for the week.
Oh, bro, this is the funniest set of 3 pictures I've ever seen. Fucking, this is incredible. Honestly, there's nothing else. I get it. It's good exposure for TNA. They were on television. It was cool. But that's funny, man. I don't give a fuck. Like that's funny as hell. If I hate to be one of those people, but not everybody who works with TNA could have got away with doing this. Okay, some people would have been crucified for doing something like this. All right.
Well, and I mean, before he went out, he did get like 2 minutes of shine.
It was a great. I said it. I laughed with my son. I was like, he better take that shit in because that is the biggest pop he's going to get in his entire fucking life.
Yep.
It was cool. Stadium. They sung the song.
They did. They were there for it. They were there. So before Hendry actually went out, we had The Miz go down, Sheamus go down, and then Joe Hendry's WrestleMania dreams came to an end tonight. Next, we had Braun Breaker getting eliminated again by Roman Reigns. Let's see. Elimination next. Jimmy went down from, I think it was Fatu. Jacob Fatu. I should be specific, I guess. Right.
I did want to point out though that we got people. They're still setting up that Roman Reigns Jacob Fatu match. They also, who the fuck, he faced off with someone else that I was like, this is a big plot thing. Oh, Roman got to face off with Drew McIntyre. All right. Oh no, he hasn't come out yet. Bullshit. Well, but yeah. So I know there was like a couple big face-offs that plot-wise with Roman, and I know the Jacob Fatu one was one, but I think the only other one was Drew McIntyre right now. We'll get to that in a second.
We will. Because after Jimmy was eliminated, our next entrant was Drew McIntyre at number 17.
And you got to figure this is the only time he's going to get his hands on Roman, right? Like, I imagine they'll have a match at a pay-per-view, right? But it's like, I guess. I mean, honestly, they could have a big-ass stip match later in the year for, like, I guess if they wanted to do Hell in a Cell with Drew again.
Right.
Because, like, the story that they're telling with him has to lead to another Roman match. Like, it has to. Otherwise, he looks stupid.
Right.
Fighting all the other Bloodline members, and then he never gets the main one.
That's the goal. He has to get there.
But they got to touch each other for a little bit. Oh wow, that's really weird.
I know what you meant. I got you. I understand.
I hope so. Oh my gosh, Nick is doing plugs. It's too early. You're not here. You're having fun. You're out having fun. If you were here, you get to plug early.
God damn. All right, we're going to keep going through this Rumble. Number 18, we had Finn Balor. The crowd didn't really give much of a reaction when Finn came out.
What? Was this music new?
I'm not even sure, honestly.
I never heard this. I never heard this before.
I didn't recognize it. So maybe it was new. Then after that, we had Shinsuke Nakamura coming out. And then we are back into some eliminations. Penta went out here. And then we had main event Jey Uso come out in the number 20 slot. Nakamura was tossed from the ring shortly thereafter. And then at 21, the returning AJ Styles to a very big reaction. God, every time I see that entrance ramp, it looks longer than it did. And I said this on the Book of Face earlier tonight, but as soon as I saw that entranceway, I knew there was no chance that Hulk Hogan's like hot dog hobbled ass was going to like limp down that ramp. No fucking way. So that made me feel good because I guaranteed he wasn't going to be there, and that made me happy.
I'm always going to lament the lack of a stage. I just, like it really makes me sad. I guess, I get it. Money. They like money.
Seats in, yeah.
They do like money, but I like the theatrics. That's kind of why I watch wrestling. Yeah, but
Well,
yeah,
and I like how every pay. I miss the days of every pay per view looking distinctly different on the stage. Like that
there's
was always
that.
so much fun.
Honestly, I know that they're making all that money, but they still cut budget. Like they needed to
Right.
make more money, and that's why Raw and SmackDown have those non-stages now. Like it's just a wall. But yeah, so that's it. It is what it is. WrestleMania. We still have WrestleMania.
That's true. That's true. All right, plowing through number 22, Braun Strowman out, and
Wait,
then
wait. Oh fuck. Um, damn. We talked about the ramp for so long that I forgot to talk about AJ Styles, who made his return here, and I thought was moving so intensely that I was like, is he gonna fucking hurt himself again? Like he was on
he was running.
another level for those couple minutes that he was in getting that shine spot.
Now he was another one that had actually a stare down with Jacob Fatu.
Oh fuck! Yes, that was
Yeah,
awesome because I was like, I didn't even consider this. I'm
Yeah.
so excited for that match.
Yeah, that would be phenomenal. No pun intended there.
Oh, he brought his music back too, and I wonder if that was just because they wanted him to get a Royal Rumble pop. Or like, is he gonna have that on SmackDown? You think?
Maybe if he's coming back face.
No, they've done this trick before. No, they tricked us like this before with Sheamus. When he came back, they wanted him to get the pop.
Oh, I was so happy when he came out to Shameful Thing Lobster Head.
Yeah.
But and then they took it away the next week. Oh yeah, that was so mean.
They tricked. I promise you, they tricked us with this tonight.
We'll
And
find out Friday, I guess.
You know what that says? That says that they're fully aware of their entrance music problem.
Yeah, it is an acknowledgement.
And I guess we just have to wait for that Def Rebel contract to run out. But it's not like that's gonna change that they don't pay the royalties. Like you're still not gonna you're gonna bring in somebody new and they're also gonna be uninspired. All
maybe
right.
not. It could get better. We don't know.
I guess if you bring in a naive child, right?
Oh God.
Shoot young, I guess.
I have hope. I have hope for the future of entrance themes. All right. So, like I said, next out we had Braun Strowman at 22, and this was the end of the line for Jacob Fatu as Strowman was out.
I knew it too. As soon as he came out, I was like, "Fuck, he's gotta get that revenge."
I think I gave him a little bit of flesh. Not it wasn't a full pound of flesh. Maybe like a third of a pound. Maybe even maybe even less, maybe a quarter. But from there, number 23. Interesting, number 23, the Jordan number. It's John Cena making his way out there, and he very quickly makes with an elimination. Bada boom. Takes out Braun Strowman, and this was the little section I was mentioning earlier where it felt like they had a few come out in quicker intervals than 2 minutes. It didn't feel like 2 minutes between Cena and CM Punk at 24, and it certainly did not feel like 2 minutes between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. It felt like fucking 30 seconds tops.
I thought this was cool, just seeing three icons here in this moment. AJ Styles was there though. I was like, man, y'all kind of fucked him over. But okay, whatever. Fuck y'all. He means more to me than he does to you. That's cool. Whatever. Rollins obviously comes out. He doesn't get to be a part of this. He starts to brawl immediately. But that was a cool little moment there because we'll never see that again. John Cena will never be in a Royal Rumble again. Yeah. So cool.
The last time is now. But yeah, so like I said, they came out like in super quick succession, and then after Rollins hit the ring, we had our next elimination in Finn Balor, and they had so like big name, Dominic Mysterio, number 26, which made sense. They had to.
But it was also acknowledged on commentary that way. Where like Michael Cole was like, Dominic Mysterio, what a buzzkill. And he comes out and he's like, I'm fucking Dominic. I actually hit a fucking frog splash. And he tries to do Roman. And the thing about the Roman spot that makes me laugh is like they played it like Roman was like a like significantly like so much heavier than Dominic. I'm like, Dominic has wrestled people that have like similar weight differences to him. So the only thing that would have stopped Roman from being suplex is the aura, like like the overall, like if it was a video game, like Roman's a 96 and Dom is a 70, so you can get that to happen.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Just let it die.
Exactly what they did. That's the best way to explain it. Wrestling is a magical thing. You know what I mean? Like the normal rules of physics do not apply to professional wrestling. But next out on the 27th spot was Sami Zayn. This was Sammy's second appearance out there at ringside tonight, but we'll talk about the other one here later. After that, we had Damian Priest in the 28th spot, and then out went Dom. In the 29 entrant, we had L.A. Knight, who got a big pop. Thanks, Jesus Christ.
They did the versus Yeet thing. I was so bad. I laughed at somebody who made that joke on Twitter. They were like, "Oh God, I can't wait to see versus Yeet," and I was like, "Fuck you for even putting that into the ether." And then they did it in the match. I was like, "Motherfuckers!" It's okay. I'm glad you all got your chant shit off.
Not everything can be Socko versus the Cobra. Some things are. But and let's see. So LA Knight at 29, and then Sami Zayn eliminated, not out there super duper long tonight. And then in the 30 slot, the world disappointed by Logan Paul.
I love that they did that. That was genius. I was like, they already hate him. How much more could you make him? Could you make them hate him than by giving him the number 30 spot? Everybody wants to know who's going to be number 30. It's fucking Logan Paul.
And also, unless number 30 is a really impressive return or fan favorite, it's a tough spot to be in. It's been that way ever since the Daniel Bryan fuck up year where Rey Mysterio was in the 30 spot.
That was so sad.
Yeah, like I remember Steve Austin on his podcast was like, I thought Rey had heat with somebody. Like,
why would they do that to him?
Like, why? Why? He's such a good guy. But yeah, so we had Logan Paul out in the number 30 slot.
Final 6, right? I don't know if we're actually there yet. We might not be, but I have this graphic.
We're close to it. If not there, then I'm not 100% on. Next out, and apparently, and John, you'd shared this over on the Dirt Sheet Radio main page, but Drew McIntyre went out here via Damian Priest, and allegedly something went wonky with how his elimination occurred, and he was knocking shit around backstage and stormed out, right?
Yes, Drew McIntyre thing. We're still trying to figure out exactly what happened, but the report says that something went wrong with his elimination, and that he thought somebody had to get their shit in, and
get your shit in,
and they fucked him out of a story moment. So we'll see who he was talking about as the days go on. But he did get eliminated by Damian Priest, and I don't know if it was Damian Priest that he was talking about. I think my theory is that someone was doing a move when he was supposed to have the full spotlight to himself, and the camera cut away at a moment where he was supposed to show something to the camera.
No, okay, that was before Logan Paul was jumping to the ring steps. He was eliminated before that, so that wasn't what it was. Yeah, we'll have to wait. I can't think offhand of what it could have been. That was my first thought, but that happened a couple minutes after.
Oh shit! Was Logan Paul number 1 at one point? Fuck.
This is his second Rumble, right?
Yeah, it is. Did him and The Miz come out as number 1 and 2 once?
You know what? Yes. Yeah,
right?
they did. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Fucking Logan Paul. We're giving him accolades now. No, no, this feels weird. I don't like it. No, I respect him. I respect him. He's a wrestler, man. He gets it. He gets great. He knows how to work the crowd. I like when the crowd bothers him because then he gets mad at them and he's more spiteful. But
Right.
it tends to like sometimes the heel heat really does get to him. Like when they don't let him talk, he's like, "Fuck!" Like I'm trying to remember what I'm supposed to say. He's a good guy. He's a good character. He's
He's
a
good
good
at what he
TV
does.
character.
Good at what he does.
Probably not a good person, but I mean,
Uh,
who is?
yeah, but like I think that like that's a sliding scale, and he's slid a
Yeah.
lot further one way than most of us.
For sure. For sure.
Like he's not like Hulk Hogan slid, but
Oh no,
like
that's just on the bottom of the spectrum at that point.
well, yeah, but like I'm just saying he's more towards that direction than other people in this company, and than other people in wrestling, and that's saying something. Wrestling,
You know,
it's underbelly for sure.
exactly. That's the thing about pro wrestling that kind of helped me get like a big lesson in life. Like
It's a
all wrestlers are bad people.
except
No.
Mick Foley. Mick Foley.
You would think. See, you want Mick Foley to be a perfect person, but he's hit his head too much. So he likes to defend Vince McMahon publicly now, and it's like, relax, calm down, go home. I understand he gave you a lot of money. John Cena too. Go home. Go home. Don't
I mean,
talk.
and John Cena is defending Vince in Mandarin. It's wild.
And not defending Taiwan. No.
Absolutely not. Oh.
Yes, that was we're gonna talk about that in a second because I was actually pretty happy that happened.
Through there. But yeah, so Drew went out via Priest there, and then Priest quickly was taken out after that. I think by LA Knight, and then Knight was bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, he was Styles right out of the ring, and then Styles went down quickly after that from Logan Paul.
That sucked. I hated that.
Which that brings us to our final six: John Cena, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, and Logan Paul. And guys, if you, I almost sound like Jeff Foxworthy right there. If you, I apologize, but if you had asked me to like rank and like place money on these six wrestlers and whom would potentially win the Royal Rumble, I think that Jey Uso would have been at the very bottom for me. I think I would have actually had Logan Paul above him.
I'll actually talk about it. There are Vegas betting odds.
Okay, all right.
For the people in the ring, I don't have them all, but I have 5 of them. I have CM Punk was a second, not a favorite at 400. I don't know how the fuck. I actually don't know how this works. It's like minus 400. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at plus 500. But the idea is that Jey Uso was the longest shot. Even in Las Vegas, even like full on Las Vegas betting odds. If you had bet $100 on Jey Uso, you would have won 20 times that money back. So any amount of money you would have bet on Jey Uso, you would have won 20 times your amount back.
Oh my God, Rikishi is buying a new house.
I don't know how betting actually works in regards to pro wrestling. Like, I don't think it works that way. I feel like it's probably illegal, but also that's just how they've been calculated.
Well, I think they could find a way to really make it bettable and legal if they did some of the things that the betting apps do. One, obviously, if you're in the company, if you're a wrestler, any of that stuff, you can't participate. That's how it is for the athletes themselves, but which makes complete sense. But if you bet on things that aren't just like the outcomes, like you can bet on like how many touchdowns someone makes or who makes one first. So that being said, in wrestling, like for tonight's example, it could have been like who gets the first elimination, things like that. You know what I mean? So I think there are ways they could bring sports betting to wrestling. Not that I necessarily want them to. I don't necessarily think it's a good idea.
I don't know if I need it to happen because I don't need to become a gambling addict. That's why I don't want betting to come to wrestling, because I've been watching it for too long and I feel like I would be pretty good at gambling on wrestling. And I don't want to get addicted to that.
Fair enough.
There goes my kids' college funds.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But all right, so up back into the Rumble here. So yeah, that was our final 6 there. I will say that one more time for posterity: John Cena, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, and Logan Paul. So the next out of the match, CM Punk eliminating both Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns' hatred getting the better of them here. And they were both dumped over the top rope. And then CM Punk met them on the floor just a moment later when Logan Paul tossed him like a Caesar salad over that top rope. And outside the ring, there was a hoopla.
One quick second. I got a funny piece of evidence here that Greg has sent us in our inbox. Look at this shit right here. This is from the Drew McIntyre elimination.
Oh, excellent.
It's just, I think this is gonna come up now, or it came up, right? We just spoke about it. Okay, cool. So I could bring this up. Boom. Let me share that. Share that real fast. Bang. All right, here we go.
All right, we're getting the evidence, guys.
I'm gonna leave it in the. I'm gonna leave it in the little window. But check this hullabaloo out. Right as Drew McIntyre gets eliminated, Logan Paul, LA Knight are getting their shit in, so to speak. Bang bang. Oh fuck. Let's see this mess right here. That had just this moment right here might be exactly what Drew McIntyre is mad about. They all crashed into each other, and I think he has too much momentum. Right here, Logan Paul and LA Knight are doing a sequence at the same time that they are doing an elimination sequence. This should not be happening. They should be laid out, right? But who's in the wrong here, right? Is it Drew? Was it there? Like, why are LA Knight and Logan Paul going into a sequence right here? You see LA Knight, he's fully ready to go into a spot. Like, who's wrong here? Like, is Drew?
Here's the thing. My knee-jerk reaction is to say it's Logan Paul's fault.
Yeah, he might have started posing and fucking around too soon. He might have queued up LA Knight too soon, so to speak. But
they're definitely in the way. Yeah,
they're completely in the way, but they're already going for something. Like they've already started a spot, and Drew and Damian aren't looking at them. And let me lower that shit. Yeah, see, yeah. I don't know. They're mad as fuck. I see. I definitely see why. Look at their faces. Look at his face. Look at his face. He's like, look at his face. Let me bring this shit up. Look at his fucking face. He's so pissed, bro. His jaw is so clenched. Look at the lump. Oh my God. This is so good.
They are showing anger that only wrestlers can share with one another. They are saying so much with this look. Oh my God.
He is so fucking pissed. This is incredible, bro. Look at his hands. He doesn't want to be down there, man.
That's sudden, dude. I'm telling you.
Holy shit.
So sudden. But oh my God, I did not catch that look that they shared live. Holy hell. That's there's gonna be a discussion backstage.
Holy shit.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow, yeah.
Bro, this is so fucking funny.
Damian Priest look real upset.
But no, but look, but see, here's where my issue is, right? Like Drew, all right. So when you go over, like I trained to wrestle. I didn't become a wrestler because I had a child too early, but I did train to become a wrestler, and I know that. You see Drew right here when he's going over. You see his extension, this arm. He's going to he's gonna prop himself up to bounce off this rope and fall to the outside the way he fell. He's I don't know if it's because he went over and he's like, oh fuck, let me just not die. Like that was just instinct. Right. I don't want to fucking break my neck. But he also he's kind of prepared to go over. I don't know.
Right.
Let's just watch it one last time in full speed.
I think this was where he was intended to perhaps go out, but it was supposed to be more of a focal thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely they collided with them. They had way too much fucking momentum. And then again, that look. Like that.
Okay, at this point, you would think he's just selling the shock of being eliminated, but Damian Priest has no reason to also be shocked.
Yep, exactly.
So now you have to see this as what it is, which is fuck, I'm not supposed to be out here.
Somebody done fucked up.
Incredible stuff. Very fun stuff. Thank you for that, Craig.
Oh my God. When we talk about, doing professional wrestling analysis, that is true analysis right there. Frame by frame, guys. Frame by frame. But yeah, so back into, where were we? Punk got eliminated in the 27th.
Ooh.
Which...
Can I take this one for a second? Just this little segment right here. Because I actually, this was another one of my favorite parts of this Royal Rumble here, right? This Roman Reigns Seth Rollins situation has been they have been building to a very big singles match between these two ever since, for a very long time. And even while Roman was champion, Rollins is one of the only people to actually technically have a win over him. Because Roman got so fucking flustered, he got himself disqualified or whatever. And they've not revisited a singles match since then. They've touched each other. I keep saying that. They fucking fought each other at WrestleMania in that tag match, but they haven't had this singles confrontation. And when they saw each other and when when they gave us all this focus on Rollins and Roman, I was like, wow, that should be
great too.
Fucking excellent stuff here. This right here, I was like, why is this not is this the WrestleMania direction? That should be WrestleMania right there.
Well, they wouldn't need the title for that. That'd be a match that can just stand on its own as the grudge that it is.
I thought that was enough, right? But then, as you said, CM Punk comes and throws them both out, and then he gets thrown out by Logan Paul, and now they're all out here together. What the fuck? We've somehow all fucked each other. Punk.
They've all touched each other, John. That's what you mean. They've all touched each other.
They've all fucked each other. I say. Anyway, Punk. It kind of feels more like a triple threat situation now, because Rollins goes on an absolutely epic fucking tantrum. Yeah. Double foot stomped Roman into the ground. Yep. He Mario stomped him like a fucking goob, I'm fucking. Is it Goomba, right? Goober.
Mario. Goomba. Yeah.
He stomped him. Just goes after Punk. They both brawl. Punk doesn't get beat up as bad as Roman.
He went after Heyman, John. He went after fucking Heyman. Oh my God, that was such a great. God, there were so many. I'm a memer, guys. Tonight was great for me. I'm going to be honest. There are so many shots tonight that I'm excited to play around with. But it's just but great shots come from great moments. And I was scared for Paul Heyman's safety once again. But oh my God, this was great. But there's so many moving parts to this, and especially when you add in the element of Paul Heyman's alliance with Roman Reigns and his friendship and former alliance with CM Punk.
Honestly, I want CM Punk to go fuck off. This is not your business, and this is a lot more entertaining to me when he's not involved. Like, there's so much going into the like. This could be such a big fucking WrestleMania match on its own. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Years and years and years of history to go into this and find, I guess, like a final confrontation or whatever. Why do we need Punk involved here? Like, why are we waiting for?
Yeah.
If we involve Punk in this, then to me the only reason could be that we're stalling off Roman versus Rollins again for a reason, for whatever reason. Like, maybe they have a larger idea in store for this, but what's bigger than WrestleMania, right? Like another one, like next year, I guess. Like, I don't
Yeah.
fucking know.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
But yeah.
But all right, so we're down to 3. We're down to 3. Probably, again, if you had actually shown me all 30 wrestlers that were going to be in the Rumble and I had it revealed to me ahead of time. And you told me all of them. I don't think there's a flippin' chance I would have said the final 3 people would have been Logan Paul, Jey Uso, and John Cena. I definitely would have had John Cena in the final 3 because John Cena was my pick to win tonight. But yeah, so we're down to Logan Paul, Jey Uso, and John Cena, and they have a bit of back and forth here, and boom, out goes Logan Paul. We're down to Jey Uso and John Cena. And at this point, I think most folks were in the same boat I was. We're like, all right, this is it. John Cena's going to WrestleMania.
I was very happy with that. I was like, this is very good for Jey Uso. I'm glad that he made it to the final 2, but it's time, right? John Cena time. And they were like, no.
The time was not now, as it turned out.
Actually.
And John Cena eliminated from the Royal Rumble, and Jey Uso winning the 2025 Royal Rumble. Like we said, at the top of the show, shocked and awed, quite frankly.
What do you even? Again, like I said at the top of the show, we had a big conversation about the Jey Uso win right as we went on the air. I understand, like, he's one of the most over acts in the company for the past 2 years. You make a lot of money. They sell a lot of Yeet merch. The kids love the Yeet.
Yeah.
The fucking rappers love to come out with Jey Uso. He's a big ass draw, man. Yeah. I guess what is the real issue with him winning the Royal Rumble? I think that there's no objective problem with Jey Uso winning.
It's really just like, it's not going to be a main event. You know what I mean? It's not going to be the literal event. It just, and like, if they're not going to put him with Cody, like we said, that's not going to happen. And, putting him with Gunther is like, okay, like, you're maybe telling kind of like a Rocky-esque story here. But like, I feel like he still has to get put down by Gunther.
And right? And then at that point, like, what's the point of going through all the pomp and circumstance of the Royal Rumble? Like, at this, like, is he actually gonna fucking fight Gunther again? Then why'd you give the match away a week before the Royal Rumble, right? This is the things that don't add up to me, and that's why I don't think either one, he's not fighting Gunther for the World Championship, or 2, he's not fighting for the World Championship.
Right.
Or it'll be a triple threat situation.
Yep. Triple threat, or even a 4-way, God knows. But like, yeah, I agree with your summation earlier, man. Like, I don't think it's going to actually be his shot. Or just solely his shot. It's either going to get shifted away from him, or it's going to be a multi-man match.
It's be him and his brother, and again, but for the world title. No, you don't want to see Jimmy versus Jey. This is not like a dream match. Yeah. Listen. Again, final thought on this Jey Uso thing before we move on and close off the men's Royal Rumble. This is going to be an interesting road to WrestleMania to see what happens because there are so many bigger stories than him that are gonna take up the card. Like whatever John Cena does is gonna be a bigger story than him. Like anything, he can wrestle anybody, and it's gonna be bigger than that. The Roman, the Rollins, the Punks, the Codys, the KOs, the Sami Zayns. There's so many things that seem
Everything's
more
gonna feel
important.
more elevated. Everything.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe they're going to. Maybe they've got a plan to elevate Jey Uso over the next 3 months. But it's like, why didn't you do that already?
Yeah.
Before he got here.
Yep.
We'll see. I think he's gonna Max. He's gonna stack and fuck Gunther in the WrestleMania Night 1 opener. Yeah, I will. Because first of all, that's PTSD. I don't need that WrestleMania fucking, what is it, 2024? Not 24. Is it 28? It's WrestleMania 28 flashback. As well as it turned out for Brian. If you lived through that in real time,
Yeah.
like, were you there? Did you watch that in real time, Tyler?
I was at a. God, I love this. I can say this. I did this for a few years. It was a lot of fun to do pay-per-views this way. But I was at a BW3 on Ohio State's campus for that. And yeah, dude, the whole fucking bar was pissed. Like it was terrible, man. It was so upsetting.
I remember thinking, man, Sheamus and Brian are gonna have a great match. Like I was excited for the wrestling.
And they had a plan. They had a plan too, right? Like they had planned to have an actual match.
They did. And the next month they got to have a great one of their definitely one of Sheamus' best matches ever. 2 out of 3 falls match at Backlash, which is just incredible. And that should have been the WrestleMania match. But I digress.
But are we hopping around to the start of the show here? John.
Oh, I was screaming into a muted mic. Awesome. We might as well talk about the Women's Royal Rumble. That's right.
That was our opening match here tonight, which is kind of assumed they would go that route.
Can I actually did you overall thoughts? Did you enjoy the Men's Royal Rumble?
So here's what I will say. Just kind of like before we get into the Rumble, just comparisons here. I enjoyed the Women's Rumble as a whole more than the men's.
Really?
I don't know why. Maybe it's because
that's incredible.
And I was all amped up, but I enjoyed the match itself more. But I was more surprised by the ending of the men's than I was by the women's. I'll say it that way. I did.
I feel bad.
I did enjoy both though overall.
I felt the reverse, except for the surprise thing. And the Charlotte thing, it wasn't like, I know people called it predictable. I thought it was like who else, right? Like, yeah. I get like that we all have our favorites, but when you really think about it, who else, right? Like that's why I thought she would win, because
I
who
had
else?
I had talked myself into a couple other like potential kind of more like dark horsey kind of candidates, but
yeah. I think like the dark horse was like oh wow, it'd be so cool if like Jordan Grace just came in and won, like like that would be cool. A lot of flash. How much substance?
I knew her mother's 50th birthday was not going to keep her from the Royal Rumble.
I knew she didn't have a mother. She's talking.
Whoa.
Liar. Wrestlers are liars. You can't believe
you're
it.
Right. You're right. She was birthed from a pure pool of creatine. That is exactly what happened.
She just they pour over a can of protein powder and the baby Jordan fell out.
With bangs, and here she came. But shall we get into the Women's Rumble?
Yeah.
All right. We'll roll through this a little quicker than the first. I just realized we just did like an hour in like 15 minutes.
I mean, on it too. With a match like the Royal Rumble, they pack it with all the
There's a lot of
things,
nuance,
you know.
I mean,
actually,
it's a 4-match card, but they get a lot.
Yeah. I was looking at John Cena and Jey Uso's time at the end, and it was like 37 minutes for Uso, 30 for Cena, and I'm like, God damn! Like I didn't realize Cena was in there for 30 fucking minutes. But as you go over this first part of the card, I actually am going to run away for a few seconds, and I will let you know as soon as I'm back. But
All right.
continue
Well,
to serenade the people with your beautiful voice.
oh, thank you, John. The dulcet tones of me. But all right. So starting into the Women's Royal Rumble. Our first competitor to make their way out was Io Sky, followed by Liv Morgan in that number 2 spot. So we actually went quite a number of entrants here before we hit any eliminations, but coming out in the number 3 position, making her 3rd Royal Rumble appearance as an NXT wrestler, Roxanne Perez, and I think she'll be main roster bound very soon. If you watch the NXT rewinds, you've heard me say that an awful lot. But yeah, Roxanne Perez making her way out there in the number 3 spot, and number 4. Lyra Valkyria, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, making her way out to the ring. Followed in the number 5 spot by Chelsea Green. Number 6 out to the ring was B-Fab. Number 7 was Ivy Nile. She got the "You Suck" chant to the beat of the music. Out next was Zoe Stark to a see, okay, Mac, I don't have the power to bring the thing up. Io, I hear both from the commentary. Blame Michael Cole, not me. I'm going to blame Michael Cole for this one.
Oh, okay. So, are you talking about how to pronounce Io Sky?
Yeah, I said Io, and he's mad at me now.
Well, I think that
I
commentary.
blame Michael Cole. I blame Michael Cole. It's his fault.
I think that commentary says Io, right? But we know her real name is Io because we were calling her Io for so long, right? But I think that her WWE name is Io. I think her WWE name is Io Sky.
I'm not sure. I feel like I've always kind of thought that this might be a Michael Cole thing. Like
it might be, but like it's legit. It's spelled entirely differently. Like I-O, ironically, it's pronounced Io, and I-Y-O is pronounced Io.
I don't understand the language I speak. I don't even try.
And I've been watching anime for my whole life. I God damn it! did you talk about Lyra Valkyria coming out already? Because I had a comment.
Yeah, we did hit Lyra. Yeah,
I don't remember. I don't remember the beginning of her theme song being so fucking long. Like, does it take that long to get to the woo part?
Yes, it does. It's way too long. It does take longer to get. Well, maybe not. Maybe they stretched it out because of the length of the ramp.
That shit was killing me.
But also too, I forgot to mention that she had to have help and be off camera momentarily as they tried to. Oh, I'm sorry. Proud to say you're not the only critic, sir.
But he go to Michael Chode.
Oh no. But she had to have her. I asked that same question. We'll get there in a second. But she had to have her top fixed very quickly.
Props to Lyra. Props to Liv. Quick acting moment, just shoved fucking Liv Lyra
just
into
her right in the face. Fix your top.
Go over there. Get off the hard cam.
Oh man. So they got that fixed, but yeah. So after Lyra, we'll catch back up real quick. Chelsea Green at 5, B-Fab at 6. I was like, okay, there we go. She's not going to win this.
I didn't even know she had her own music. Where'd that come from?
they made it up for tonight. Oh. Hello, Celeste. But I think they just give it to her for tonight. Then we had in the number 7 spot Ivy Nile, and then number 8 Zoe Stark to criminally no reaction whatsoever. It makes me so mad. I think she's such a good wrestler. She just gets no response.
So I don't think it was her fault tonight. Though I don't think she gets much of a response anywhere they go. But tonight it was the Def Rebel problem. I don't know any of these songs.
Like I recognized it, but like, well, also too, it doesn't help that Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler, all who were in the Rumble tonight, they for the most part have been coming out to the Pure Fusion Collective music. So like as unrecognizable as any of their music is anyway, it's less so because they don't really use it on the main show. So that you're right. That does not help that the music is just like people don't recognize it until they read the name.
I didn't want to harp on it too much because it's a problem that we had last year. And I mean, it's. I remember being at the show at the Royal Rumble and actively not knowing who was coming out, like, which sucks the fun out because part of the fun of the Royal Rumble is that moment, like the music hits. You know, when John Cena's music hit, I knew he was going to be in the match, and it's still like, you know, it's like like man, that feels nice. You know, the fucking horns, man. You know those damn horns. And you know what's crazy? They have this shitty music, and they're gonna have to change it when Def Rebel leaves or whatever. And that's just another song that we're gonna have to get used to. So that's yet another few years wasted that we could have had creating an iconic sound or whatever for somebody. Lyra ain't got no pop either. Yeah, sorry. Mojo. Again, nobody did. No. Nobody did.
But Bird Lady's so good.
Bird Lady good.
First pop. Bird Lady good, guys. Bird Lady good. But after Zoe Stark, we had Lash Legend making her way into the Rumble, which was awesome to see her get in there.
Can I just say,
she's
man,
6 foot tall, dude. She's 6 foot tall. Would it shock you to learn that in college she played basketball?
What? No. I bet you they forced her ass to play basketball. Girl, you better get your ass to the gym. You're 6 feet tall. You're not gonna be jumping rope.
I want to say it was for Tennessee. I think it was for Tennessee, but
you listen, when Lash first started, and we were first starting these NXT rewinds, and we were watching some Lash Legend matches. Lash sucked, bro. Lash is fucking sucked in the beginking. She has come so far.
Yeah.
She came in this Royal Rumble. And the first 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, like the 60 seconds they gave her for herself, I thought like she made a great impression. Anybody who's never seen her before, who saw this big beast woman come out and she's busting bitches, just start busting their asses and clear that ring like that. She made a great impression right there. She took her spot and she really made it count. And I hope that when she eventually does get called up, I hope that they give her the world. She's great.
Make the most of your minutes, right? That's what they say. And she did. She really did. But so she gets out there. Our next elimination, B-Fab. There she goes. She's gone. Fairly well, B-Fab. Out next, we had Bianca Belair.
I'm on my own.
Shayna Baszler. Again, to not a huge response because people don't really recognize.
Because what the fuck is that music? Like it's
fucking right to censor. Like, you know, it's not great.
Yeah.
So after that, we had our next elimination. Lyra Valkyria was taken out. I think Zoe Stark knocked her out. In the 12 spot, Bayley. Bayley got new music.
Isn't it like that? You know, like I don't know. I don't really know how it goes, but she's had unfamiliar music for a little while now. Like it's not.
This isn't a new thing for her.
It's like it's she's had that for a while though.
Okay. Yeah. I just don't like it that much, and that's why
it's not very good. I love Bayley, but the theme song and her finisher, that weird Rose thing that she did. I hate it. What is it with her and Sasha? Like with bad finishers. Why did you sit down and decide which one of us is gonna have the worst fucking finisher?
It's like a quiet competition between them.
I'm gonna get this. We're gonna get this garbage over, man. Yeah. Trick Willie is a lucky man. Yeah, Lash Legend is beautiful, gorgeous. A lot of women. Oh, she had the role. Yeah, the role model music. Yeah. role model. God, that is so bad. It's so bad.
Bad. It's terrible, as Charles Barkley would say. In the 13, Sonya Deville. So all three of the Pure Fusion Collective out there in the ring. Next up, Maxine Dupree, who eliminates Ivy Nile.
I like Maxine. Listen, she comes out, turn around, look at the camera, gorgeous. I like a ray of sunshine.
Her hair was
Like,
lovely tonight. I will say that the curls were befitting. I give her credit for that.
she's still not the best wrestler, but she's got a lot of great energy. Okay,
Because she's good at her character.
yes,
She's really more in that pseudo management role, but like you can put her in spots like this, and you know this was probably her getting her revenge on.
That's it. Yeah, that'll be that. She
Yeah.
finally got one over on Ivy Nile. Good for her.
Yeah, that's going to be that's the best she's going to get. And she went out right after that as she was celebrating throwing Ivy Nile out. Sorry, my cat is trying to steal my pen right now.
What the fuck would a cat do with a pen at this time?
I don't know. The first thing I took away was one of my kids' like necklace things. So I don't know what she's doing with any of this shit, to be completely honest.
I think that your cat is building a device and you need to be careful because it might be explosive.
Oh man, this is scaring me now. You know, she was the one that we found at Tudor's Biscuit World. What are you doing, Celeste?
Yeah, that sounds like a schemy urban cat.
Yeah, her little nickname is Trash Kitty because like
inner city kitty.
Back, she was curled up on like a Kroger bag with like plastic bottles in it in the backseat of my car. So.
Inner city kitty.
Oh my god,
right.
That was sad. Like
I can say that. I don't think you can say that.
Oh God, no, I can't. I'm from Kanawha County, West Virginia. Like I cannot say that. But back into the Royal Rumble. After Maxine went out, we had in the 15th slot Naomi. And then we had a few quick eliminations here. Zoe Stark went out, Baszler went out, and DeVille went out. So there goes the Pure Fusion Collective as a collective. So, you know, they were in together. They went out together. There's a sisterhood there. You got to give respect to that. In the number 16 slot, I was amped when her music hit. Jada Parker making her way into the Women's Royal Rumble. If you guys, watch the NXT recaps, you know how much we believe in and absolutely love Jada Parker. I say this a lot on
since
there.
Day one. Since day one.
If you haven't heard me say it on there, you'll hear me say it tonight. She's the real deal, and I mean that every way. She is so good on the mic, she's so good in the ring, and she is so young, and she is just getting better all the time. She's going to be a main event wrestler for, decade and a half. Like she's awesome. If you're not watching NXT, go check her out. She's phenomenal. Sorry, I went
was this different music? I didn't recognize this music actually. I was like,
it's not the OTM music.
Yeah,
it's her music. She has a slight variation of her own. Yeah.
Okay. I guess I was used to the OTM theme. Yeah. They did.
Of OTM, and I'm like, don't say that, Michael. It's OTM of Jada Parker. All
don't
right?
attach her to those goofs up here.
Well, I will say they actually they have over the last probably about month or so in NXT, they've put a lot more behind them, and they were trying to elevate them. But like, she's still so far above them in what they're doing. But.
I think you have no point. I mean, I think you have no choice but to do that with them now, because like otherwise she's really gonna leave them behind completely.
Yeah. But all right, so we had our next elimination. Lash Legend was taken out, and then in the 17 entrant we had Piper Niven. Poor Chelsea got eliminated by mistake. They had a collision, and out went Ms. Green. So that was a sad ending for Chelsea. Piper stuck around for a little bit longer here, but in the 18 spot, she had to be in the Rumble. Natalya Neidhart. I think it's law for WWE. She have to be in there. And then in the 19 slot, the woman who was my pick to win tonight, Jordan Grace.
Sabrina Carpenter.
I was gonna say a real. Like I said that to the wife, man. I'm like, Jordan Grace with his haircut looks like a buffed out Sabrina Carpenter, and they're about the same height, I
think. Well, probably, but also, what is it with all these girls rocking the same? Like, you guys got to chill out. You definitely all look like Sabrina Carpenter. She looks like Sabrina Carpenter evolved. Like, Sabrina Carpenter is her
next Pokemon evolution.
Yeah, Sabrina Carpenter is a war turtle. This is a Blastoise.
So whoa, bro! What's the first evolution then? Now
the Squirtle. It's gonna be actually, that's a good question. I mean, we should be grateful that I don't know any younger blonde girls off the top of my head. I'd have to Google them, but I would imagine one of the more famous younger blonde bang girls exists out in Hollywood. Let's go for teen range and imagine that's a Squirtle. Oh, you can't hear me? My circle's moving.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you.
I can't hear you. Oh my god. Oh, we lost Tyler. He couldn't hear me because he got kicked out. He'll be back. Robert says he knows she's taller than Jonathan Gresham. She is. She absolutely is. If Tyler will be back, his internet was acting wonky over all night. Actually, the only issue with that is that he had the fucking list of entrants. God damn it. Well, I will pull up a list, but I have I know after this the more important entrance was fucking Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss makes her return, and I got a message from Tyler saying he thinks his internet dropped out, which is an incredible timing. He's back. I love it. Anyway, Alexa Bliss returned. And this was the thing about this return that I wanted to talk about more than anything. More than the actual return itself. The way that they handled it leading up to it. They planted this story in the media that she was having contract issues with the company. And to the point where PW Insider and Meltzer, and I don't know if Fightful ran this. I'll have to check. But I know for certain that the Wrestling Observer and PW Insider had ran with the story that she had contract issues with the company. Actually, I know for sure that at the very least, Sean Ross Sapp had mentioned that any issues with Alexa Bliss did not affect the long-term storyline of the Wyatts. So he did at least reference the fact that there might have been issues with Alexa Bliss, but I don't know if he knew for sure or if they were. I'm not going to put that on him. But I know for a fact that PW Insider and the Observer reported that Alexa Bliss was having contract issues, and that turned out to be false. And this is the first time that they've tried to plant fake stories. Last time Meltzer caught on, and he talked about the Kevin Owens thing and how they tried to make it seem like the contract is running out, and they wanted him to report that it was, so that it would seem like they were wrong. But they caught him this time. They caught them, and they did it specifically to dunk on them on commentary. So, that's funny. That's very funny to me. But yeah, she did make it back, and she had a great performance here. She did a lot of flipping around, did her knee drops onto Bayley, stood on top of her to finally pose and get that moment in, soak in that adulation from the crowd. I don't know if she'll ever get a pop that big again, but she got one of the biggest pops of the night. Like, hands down, Alexa Bliss had one of the biggest pops of the night. Tyler says he is in the backstage area. However, I don't see him, so I don't think that he is. All right. In that time, I am actually going to go ahead and pull up this list of the women's Royal Rumble entrances because Tyler had all the notes, and fate is a cruel fucking mistress. But in the meantime, why don't you guys let me know what you thought of the women's Royal Rumble so far? And what did you think of Dave Meltzer getting caught, Mike Johnson getting caught with this bullshit story that they put out there? People might get mad that I'm talking about it. Like, that's definitely what happened, but it is. Like, come on, let's be real. Otherwise, why would they have run with that? It's not like they made it up off the top of their head. Anyway, I got Tyler back.
Hey guys, sorry. I'm not gonna blame my internet. I'm blaming Evie Mux. Just putting that out there. Just saying.
Robert says he thinks she wanted a new deal now that she's a mom and all that other stuff happened during her time off. That's a good point. That might have been where the story came from. This might have already happened. It's already been ironed out, and they put it out there afterwards so that it can
Turn a shoot into a story.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
yeah. And again, like I mentioned earlier, I just think it's funny that they're usually so on point. Like Meltzer usually doesn't get caught with this. Mike Johnson usually doesn't get caught with things like this, but they got caught real bad. And like I'm even seeing people like straight up saying like, "Oh, I'm not gonna believe any of the thing that she say now after this." And I was like, "Wow, shit, good job, WWE." I mean, that's exactly what they wanted, right? That's exactly what they wanted.
I heard bits and pieces as I was getting back into the studio here, but like, did you say this or not? But like, do you feel like part of the reason they leaked the story was so on air they could have Michael Cole be like, "Ha ha 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 ha, y'all were wrong."
Yes, exact. They're 100% so that they can say the things they said, including Wade Barrett being like, "Don't believe everything you read in the dirt sheets, Michael." It was so heavy-handed.
It was some bad news.
It was so obvious what they did, and I know I want to listen to the Observer tonight because I want to hear what Meltzer has to say about it. Because again, he knows he got caught here, and this is just one of those things with wrestling media now in 2025 where the WWE is like savvy to how things work. One, they put that story out there, and two, that probably works as a double tracker. Like now we know who's leaking information.
Right.
Like we gave a fake story and it went out.
And that might be a big part of the reason. Maybe they're trying to suss that kind of stuff out.
Yeah, for sure. Robbie says she did look good, but we'll see if it leads to something or not. She came out with Fiend attire. Her jacket said Fiend Forever, first of all. Tier. A second, she had the little doll.
Yep.
Which, from what I remember, was like a massive seller, right? That was like a big deal.
It's actually a new variant of the doll. I don't know if you can see it here in the picture. The doll has the number 6 in her eye.
Oh shit! Oh, I see where that's going.
Yep. So,
she's also got the the Bray Wyatt play and pain on her jacket. Again, and she's gonna pay full tribute to Bray like the Wyatt Six is doing, and like I'm down for that.
yeah.
Like I'm very down for that. I know there are people that don't like the Bliss, the Fiend stuff, and especially since it turned out kind of shitty at the end, the Alexa Bliss Fiend stuff with the box and the tar on the head.
It just, I said this a lot, and I even said this when the Wyatt Six angle started. Bray was incredibly creative, and he had a lot of really bold ideas. And the ideas, the story aspect, and the character development, that all always worked. Where it always kind of fell short was when you got to the fact that it had to become a wrestling match. And that's where it didn't always like function as well. I always felt the best example of a Bray Wyatt idea into a match was the John Cena thing at WrestleMania that year, where they like fought through like interdimensions of professional wrestling.
Yeah, that's like the peak of that concept.
Yeah, like that was kind of. I mean, honestly, that was like his opus as a character, I think. But most of the times, unfortunately, when it got to the wrestling aspect, it just. It had to be 2 guys in a ring, and it didn't work for what you were trying to do at that point. So, but that was always my critique. But like, they haven't quite fallen as hard into that with the Wyatt Six because they've used them so sparingly.
Oh wow. I guess we can keep going because there's a couple of notes I guess I had about the Rumble that we can talk about later. I found trying to find the fucking order of the match. I found some notes that I thought were interesting.
Oh, all right. Where were we on the
Just
entrance?
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. All right. So Alexa, after Alexa, we had Zelina Vega heading down.
To no pop. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, that's fucked up.
SmackDown superstar Zelina Vega. Speaking of no pop, Candice LeRae.
Damn it.
I'm sorry. I like Candice. She's damn good, but like people don't recognize shit about her. After that, speaking again, not a pop until they saw her name. Stephanie
Yeah.
Baxter did not get a pop from her music, but once people saw who it was, she did get a pop there. Trish Stratus got a pop immediately because again, you recognize her music.
Yeah.
Next out, we had Raquel Rodriguez. And then we finally had some eliminations here. Natalia went out here. And then we had Bliss go out. I think Liv Morgan eliminated.
The new Alexa Bliss. She eliminated the old one.
Yeah, kind of how that went.
The what is it? When the old Supreme dies, a new one is born, or whatever.
Oh my god! Yeah, as she gets stronger, the old gets weaker. Like, oh my god, Jesus. Didn't think I'd be referencing season 3 of American Horror Story with you here tonight, man.
Woo!
Expected turn. I appreciate this. Speaking of woo, number 27,
The Queen, baby.
Charlotte
Oh my god,
Flair, making her return 2 years away.
she's still so regal. Like she comes in, like look at this. Like come on, man.
So she said on the press conference that she got stuck in that robe during her entrance and had to literally tear it off.
I noticed that. I didn't know that she got stuck, but I noticed that she ripped it off, and I was like, that seemed like a lot of effort to go into a road to just rip it off. But okay, and then I see now it wasn't meant to come off that way. Oh my god,
Exactly.
people are so mad. Charlotte, it's Charlotte again. It's always Charlotte. Let me fucking tell you something. You watch this Royal Rumble. You have your favorites. That's fine. There's a lot of good wrestlers in here. I enjoy a lot of the wrestlers that were here. When Charlotte walks in, that's a whole new level. That's a whole different presence. That's Roman Reigns walking into the scene.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole how could you deny that presence when Charlotte walks out here and you're like, well, it's just the way that she's pushed. Nah, man, people get pushed like that all the time and fail. You got to live up to that. You got to fit those shoes. Charlotte fits those fucking shoes. She's the goddamn queen. Like, that's not even a joke. That's not even a money. Like, she's the queen of this division. When she shows up, you got to move out. Get out of the way. Like, okay, you had your shot. No, she's been gone since December 2023.
Yep.
In that year plus, which one of you bitches has gotten to Charlotte's level? Nobody? Sorry. Queen's back. Sorry. If there was somebody here right now at Charlotte's level, there wouldn't be no need for Charlotte to be in that spot. She wouldn't fit. They would put her somewhere else. Because that's the nature of things.
It would have been how The Rock felt last year. You know what I mean? Like, they already had all their pieces in place for what they wanted to do. And it's like, yeah, he added things to it when it came to, push came to shove. But, like, you didn't actually need it. But, like, you're right. Like, she doesn't feel out of place here in the long run because there's no one at that level.
100%.
But yeah, speaking of, get out of the way, Michin should have gotten out of the way more quickly because Charlotte eliminates her almost immediately getting into the ring. Then right after that, Piper Niven right out also to Charlotte. And then we had in the 28th spot, Julia making her way out to the ring. And Jordan Grace was eliminated shortly thereafter by the NXT Women's Champion, Julia. In the 29 spot, Nia Jax. Nia Jax makes her way down, and this is, again, we finally, some quick eliminations here. Boom! There goes Zelina Vega. Boom! There goes Candice LeRae via Trish Stratus. Boom! There goes Trish.
This is honestly art. This
is
is
a Renaissance painting. Look at this.
It's full on. This is like not even like a Renaissance painting. This is like a one of those battle paintings from like the Revolution, like the fucking like George Washington on a boat.
Like,
you know?
like it's amazing. Like oh my god, like there's just so much going on. Belair's ponytail's being pulled by Rodriguez. She's being snaked by Sky. Stephanie Baxter's barely hang. Like it is.
Someone is groping Liv Morgan. I can't tell who it is. It might be Naomi.
It's Naomi. Naomi's definitely the one doing it. Yeah, it's Naomi. She's feeling the glow. She's feeling the
Stephanie Baxter's got a foot in her ass.
That's Roxy. That's Roxy's foot.
That's Roxanne's foot in Stephanie's ass. That's an incredible photo, and it's my background for this week because I it's just art. That's the kind of thing you only see in wrestling, and this happens all the time. All the fucking time, you can take a pause on a professional wrestling event, and you'll find some Renaissance art in there.
Oh yeah. And it's something like with no context. If you show that to someone who does not know anything about wrestling, they'll just be so perplexed by everything going on.
It's one of those things like you would, if we had a drone shot of this in slow motion for every situation to like some opera music or some shit. Yeah, that's my marijuana mind.
little Ave Maria to this sort of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
All right, then we had in the number 30 slot, all of y'all wanted AJ Lee. You got Nikki Bella.
Oh,
no, we did not mention that. That was a pretty cool moment. Yeah, Grace and Naomi, Jordan Grace and Naomi had a little bit of a moment there from their time spent together in TNA. And yeah, Bianca Belair was fucking pissed that her bestie had a friend.
That was funny as hell because they had done the spot earlier where they beat up Chelsea Green, like, bitch, you're not invited to the cookout. And then it was like, she said, wait, like, what? Like, you forgot what month it was? Like, get this bitch out of here. like, what the get this Sabrina Carpenter bitch out of here? Like, what are you doing? But yeah, like you said, if you expected AJ Lee or another legend and you got Nikki Bella, then you probably got the air sucked out of you.
And I'll say this. I made that meme tonight of Cody looking mad, like, about that. Like, man, I ruffled some feathers, and I'm not actually sorry for it, but, like,
you shouldn't be.
It was a joke. Like, y'all get that, right? Like,
no, man, they don't get that.
That AJ Lee didn't come back. Like, it's cool. I understand she probably doesn't want to wrestle anymore. That's perfectly fine. Like, whatever. Like, Nikki Bella got a reaction. They probably should have swapped her and Alexa Bliss. I feel like maybe that would have been
she got a big pop, but listen, I don't care who it fucking was or wasn't. I don't care if it was AJ Lee. I don't care if it was fucking China from the fucking grave. You understand? Like I don't care what your expectations were.
A hologram of China.
I always thought the Bellas sucked. So when Nikki Bella is number 30, I don't care what your expectations were. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with wanting AJ Lee. I was just disappointed that it was Nikki Bella. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
The Bella twins have such like a fake WWE legacy. Like, oh, they've done so much. Like, the whole time they were here, they sucked. What are you fucking talking about? Like,
they've got about the same level of legacy as Kelly. Honestly,
I'm saying, even brother, the most entertaining things they ever did in the WWE were mess up. Like when they kicked Liv Morgan and knocked her ass out by accident. And then we started calling her Brie Wada. And then fucking Nikki Bella with the errant forearm. So we started calling her Nikki Sawa. Cause like these are interesting and funny things that happen by accident, but overall they suck.
Yeah.
And so
she like I said, they're at I think that level. I don't know how they got this like perceived aura
The
around
Total
them.
Divas. It's the
But-
Total Divas.
But they really are. Yeah, that really is the
It
reason.
was over as fuck, I guess. To like, but like, I always thought it was
really
funny.
are. They're at that
I-
level of Kelly, and Kelly is the third best Kelly to be in WWE behind Kevin Kelly and Kathy Kelly at the top. So,
Thankfully, not as bad as R. Kelly.
well, he's never been involved with the company as far as I know.
Thankfully, as far as you know,
They had Jared from Subway.
Kevin and Vince might have been friends. I don't know.
Man, oh god,
Oh,
Diddy was
no.
there. Diddy was.
Oh gosh. They but no, listen, another I want to say Andre says, what about Sable? I think she's got bigger problems to worry about at home. And then Robert here says there was a reason they got the boot from ROH. Were they there? I didn't know they were there. WWE fans, Max says WWE fans get very upset when the things they made up in their head but didn't want to happen in the Royal Rumble happen, and then they blame the company.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on. I think a lot of them were mad that they wanted somebody else. I understand. I'm happy for her, and she had a lot of things going on at home that she had to overcome, and that's really cool that she overcame them. But yeah, there's like Greg said, there are probably people today who tell you that the women's revolution begins with the Bellas. I bet you Nikki and Brie would say that. I bet you they would.
They like the thing is like Nikki believes she's at John Cena's level for women because she was engaged to him.
That's crazy. I don't know that, but that's crazy.
Brie believes that she, through osmosis, has Danielson's ability. Like, I mean, I really think that's how they feel. That's how they fucking feel.
If only professional wrestling skill was a sexually transmitted disease.
I still like one of my favorite things, and I got that there are not a lot of things I can put in the favorite category because, guys, full disclosure, I watched a lot of Total Divas. But Danielson on Total Divas was fucking hysterical because you could tell that it's like he's there, but he's not taking it seriously. He thinks it's an absolute joke.
I love that.
He is just buried Cameron on the tour bus where he's just like just railing her for her like Chingle Chingle song. And just talking about he's like you have this opportunity to influence all of these young women and you want to talk about Chingle Chingle, boy bye, you ain't got money, boy bye. That's a real independent. And it's just like holy shit.
You gotta find me that clip. Because I don't know Bryan Danielson as we're not friends. I don't know him. Like I've only met him once, and I'm certain he doesn't remember me. But I've watched many Bryan Danielson things, like documentaries and
Wrestling Road Diaries.
Wrestling Road Diaries is my favorite fucking wrestling documentary ever.
We should do a show on that.
Yes.
Fucking show.
God, I would love to have a reason to watch it again.
I haven't watched
so
that
much.
For more than 10 years.
Yes, I
awesome.
swear, I love that shit. It's such an underrated thing. Like it's such a unique perspective in pro wrestling.
It's just so well done. Like it's just a great time capsule of what indie wrestling was then. Like, oh man, fuck, I haven't thought about that in a while.
It's so good. And again, from things like that, and from his book, I listened to him read me his book, and I know the kind of person he is. He'd do things like that with a fucking half smile on his face because he's not taking this shit seriously. Even in wrestling, sometimes in his more serious promos, like it's hard for him to fully commit. He's got like a fucking half smile on his face. Like this is all so fucking funny. Like I'm gonna break out laughing.
That's why it was hard for me to take him as like a bad guy with BCC. Like I had a hard time. And again, he's in that category of people where it's like no one wants to boo him. You know
where he gets you when he gets in the ring and then he beats on you like a piece of shit. Like then he's an asshole and then he's doing asshole things to you. Like you didn't have to pull his teeth out of his head. That was unnecessary.
Oh Jesus! All right. Well, I'm gonna steer us back into the women's rumble here. We've got a shitload of eliminations happening here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 eliminations happening like lickety split. So 19, Stephanie Vacker, 20. Bianca, these all happened at once in that beautiful background image we have there. But Vacker, Belair, Sky, Naomi, Raquel Rodriguez, and Liv Morgan basically all went out together. And then right after, then we had Julia got dumped by Roxanne Perez. And then Bayley got eliminated by Nikki Bella. And then Nikki Bella got eliminated by Nia Jax, which got a pop for Nia, actually.
Cool moment here where Liv Morgan broke the record for the longest, for being in the Women's Royal Rumble for the longest time ever.
We'll talk about it. For about 5 minutes here.
About 5 minutes.
Yeah. But Nia Jax was taken out by Charlotte. And then Charlotte. So that took us down to Charlotte and Roxanne Perez. Which, look, here's the thing, guys. Look, I would have, if I had my way, yeah, I probably would have picked somebody other than Charlotte. But then also, too, if you're like, hey, Tyler, it's actually your money on the line, who are you putting in the main event spot? It's probably going to be Charlotte, which is also the argument I used for Cena over the years. We were like, man, push anybody but Cena. And I'd be like, okay, it's your millions of dollars on the line. Who are you putting in Cena's spot? And they just look at you like, the way a dog looks at your answering machine when it hears your voice coming out of it. Like
Chris Masters, bro. Chris
Hey, Chris Masters pulled a tree up by its roots to save his mom from a burning building. So, like, I'm going to say
very cool. Yeah. Still couldn't be John Cena.
Yep, still was not compelling in the ring, and he never recovered when Triple H pointed out that he lost 100 pounds of muscle. But look, say what you will about Charlotte Flair winning this match. It's neither here nor there. I'm elated as someone who, covers NXT for Dirt Sheet, as someone who's just a huge fan of Roxanne Perez. I'm elated that it came down to her and Charlotte Flair, who is undoubtedly regarded, at least in the WWE scope, the greatest women's wrestler of all time. That's how they view her.
Yeah.
And that's how she's presented. Roxanne Perez, in her third appearance in a Rumble, not on the main roster, spent the longest amount of time in the history of the Women's Royal Rumble. She clocked in at 1 hour and 7 minutes of ring time. That's
incredible.
Huge. That is massive for her.
You like you said, she hasn't even been officially called up yet.
It's
to have
soon.
That kind of performance.
In her last couple programs.
That
right now
means that Triple H is well aware of what he's got in Roxanne, and that Roxanne staying down there for that extra time and putting in that almost like an extra course in college, almost like, we know you're ready, but could you do this one thing for us? Would you like to try this heel turn?
But guys, it worked. Like, it was a slow. It took her a minute to get rolling on that, but she is a really convincing heel too, and she's a wonderful face as well. She's incredibly, like just easily utilized. Like, she's just phenomenal. I can't say enough.
Malleable.
Yeah, like she can fit any spot you need her to be in, and I think you're right, John. I think just based off of this, Triple H knows. I mean, I'm sure that the communication and level of understanding between Triple H and Shawn Michaels in terms of NXT to main roster is a tad bit better than it was prior to Hunter being in charge.
100%. I agree with that. But yeah, like you said, like I said earlier, find me another Charlotte, and I'll tell you this: Charlotte shouldn't have won the Royal Rumble.
I knew Charlotte wasn't going to win this. I knew she wasn't going to win. It came down to them, but I was just glad it came down to them. But yeah, Charlotte Flair takes the win. 71 minutes.
71 minutes. I did not enjoy this match as much as the men's match. I thought it had some fun spots though, and I thought it had a lot of air. Unfortunately, that was my thing. I thought it was a lot of dead air.
My opinion of it is elevated because of just my
NXT girls.
Yeah. I think I wonder because, like, with Jada Parker and Jordan Grace and Roxy, like, I'm wondering if just like how like happy I am, especially for Roxy and being in this position, if that's kind of pushing my perception of the match a little higher.
I understand that for sure. You know what takes away from the NXT things for me now is that you used to kind of feel like, oh shit, like are they gonna get called up? But now like I don't like like there's been a few years now where it's like guaranteed NXT entrances, but they just go back home. Like
Well,
okay,
now I will say, Jordan Grace, I think she'll be down there. I think they're going to want to get her, at least a title reign,
Yeah.
if not the mid card, but possibly NXT Women's, probably within the next year. Possibly, I'd say maybe next year. But with Roxy, she's in her last program down there.
yeah,
She's got a triple threat coming up with Bayley and Julia at Vengeance Day on the 15th of February. And based off of some story stuff they laid down on Tuesday, after that, she's probably going to have her probably more abbreviated than it would be otherwise program with Cora Jade. And I think that's it. That's just kind of how I'm seeing it laid out.
yeah. I think that's stand and I think that's stand and deliver.
Yeah, and then. But like I think after this performance, they're going to have to pull her up soon. This was a huge spotlight for her.
If honestly, not even fanboy, if based off of this performance right here, having her work with Bayley, finishing whatever they finished with Cora Jade, I would personally debut her on Raw or SmackDown immediately after WrestleMania, and belt her up like that day. Like that kind of thing, like Paige.
Like Paige. Oh
like
man,
Paige.
I was there that night. I was in the building.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. That was like that was an incredible moment.
And it was cool by luck because, like, I'm going to say that probably there was a chunk of that audience that didn't recognize her music because then a lot of people weren't watching NXT. It wasn't as like nearly as popular.
They didn't know about Paige versus Emma. You wasn't there. Okay.
But I was in the section somehow. Me and my buddy Dave. We were in like the all British section somehow. And that crowd and that the section we were in were as excited as I was about Paige coming out. But yeah, that's how they should do it. That's how they should do it. I agree.
I would do that. I don't think they should take the time to have her feud with nobody and go through like the Lyra Valkyria ladder. Like they better. I will crash out. Like Roxanne Perez playing games, tagging with like Kaden Carter and shit. Man, get the fuck out of here.
I hope that they learned a lesson with how they've kind of bungled Lyra's rise to the main roster. She's better than this. Bird Lady good.
And ain't nobody in that fucking main roster better convince little Roxanne Perez that there is anything wrong with the way she looks so that she doesn't have to disappear for 9 months to get a fucking breast implant surgery. You know, like that's the kind of shit that happens here.
I don't feel like it happens as often as it used to.
It just happened with Kiana James.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
That's why she was gone all this time.
I know that's why Cora was gone.
Cora too. Do you see, Tyler? It happens fucking often.
Her knee got hurt, and then like she.
Okay, but she took the time. You know, she was like, I got my knee fucked up.
Well, that was kind of like when Randy Orton broke his clavicle.
He got breast implants.
No, he's got full sleeves of skull tattoos, John.
Same thing.
It's similar. It probably about the same. It's probably a similar cost.
It's a similar thing. You get some cosmetic work done. Ain't nothing wrong with cosmetic work. Let me say that off the back. First of all, there is nothing wrong with cosmetic work. Everybody has their agency to do what they want. And honestly, for me, if I could feel them, they're real.
You want to hear an interesting thing? Alexa Bliss actually got them at her because to help her deal with her body dysmorphia.
You see,
like she, I believe she was actually, if I'm not mistaken, she was still actually a high school student. But
there's lots of good things that come out of things like that, and honestly, a lot of them look very nice. I'm just saying. Like, it's a lot of time wasted, too. Like, I hope nobody's like, like when Raquel Rodriguez first got to the main roster, and I know somebody back there was like, you should smile more. And then she spent, like, the rest of the next, like, 10 months with the most forced smile you've ever seen.
Oh, the smile over the back flex was just. Oh man. Oh wow.
It's shit like that. Like nothing. Nobody needs to touch nothing about Roxanne. She is perfect, and you should just move with her as if she was a top star already.
And
Give her the big jacket.
I will say, just for those of you listening who might be a little newer to the fam here in the club, as they say, DSR was always a supporter of Roxy. I remember the first place I actually read her name was on Dirt Sheet Radio when she was still Roxy, when she first got signed to Developmental, which wasn't that many years ago. Was it like 5 years ago?
It was about 5. It was about 5 years ago. And Dirt Sheet Radio. Listen, Roxanne was, to me, Roxy, the first ROH Women's Champion. That's Roxy. All right. I always knew she was gonna be great. All right.
Mhm.
I love that she ended up so good here.
Yeah.
They did hit. Greg is right. They did hit Rhea Ripley with that smile more shit. And guess when she started working better? When she fucking went goth and did the exact opposite.
Oh man. All
But yeah, fun times.
But yeah, so great match. Real quick before we get into our last couple matches here, because goddamn guys, sorry, we're already going 2 1/4 on you. It was a big show, guys. It's Royal Rumble.
It was a big show.
We're in Mania season now,
It's the
but
biggest
I
of
will
the
ask
year.
you,
One
John,
of.
who do you think she goes after? I feel like Tiffy is I feel like where most people are leaning here. Or do you think they could potentially run her and Rhea back? There's a story there as well where she could be looking to get her win.
I think there is a story between her and Rhea, but her and Tiffany Stratton is probably one. It's
does that fuck Tiffy up when she loses that match?
No. Actually, I think here's what happens. I don't think she's gonna lose. I think that they're aware of how big Charlotte is right now, and similar to Roman, I think that they're gonna use her kind of like she's still gonna be like the main event, like she's still the main, like the biggest girl on the card,
Right.
But Tiffy she's got to win here, right? Like that is the move if you honestly believe in her as champion. And unless she fucks something up from now to April 20th,
yeah,
you got to imagine that she's going to give them what they want. And honestly, too, even if she does lose, it's not that bad of a reign. When did she win? Last year? Did she come into the year as champion, or did she win it on the first SmackDown of the year?
She cashed in. Was it Saturday Night's main event?
I thought it was like a big SmackDown. Yeah, I thought it was a big SmackDown. It might have been the first SmackDown, but yeah, Becky did pin her in NXT. Honestly, either way, I said she has to win, but I think I misspoke. I don't think she has to win. I think Tiffy is.
It'd be more beneficial for her to win.
It would be really good for her. Like I think a win over Charlotte would be great for her. Like like a win over Roman Reigns would have been great for Drew. But I don't know that she has to. She's also very, very young, and like this is also the first title reign. And if they really do believe in her, they're gonna come back to that match, and she can get that victory. And maybe pinning Charlotte on the first go around is a lot. Like that's a lot. Honestly, well, I was talking about it kind of emotionally, but like as I'm talking about it objectively now, I'm like, does that honestly make sense? Like, is that feasible? Like Tiffany Stratton pins Charlotte at WrestleMania, and then what? Like then what? Like right? Yeah. Now that we talk about it, Charlotte
knock yourself right back out.
Yeah,
right back out. But, all right. So next on the card we had for the January 3rd. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, she's dropping that shit. She's losing.
2 out of 3 falls. DIY, the champions up against the Motor City Machine Guns. This was not the longest match on the card.
Crazy Fist. Raise your fist. I hate that fucking song, man. They tried. It's so funny because they gave it like this big aura and like they try to make it like there's helicopters and it's Detroit, and then it goes raise your fist, raise your fist. Like what the fuck? What is this clash of feelings you've got going on here? Get rid of this.
I just wish they could they just would have paid for their TNA theme. You know,
I can't. I mean, I didn't expect that. It's like I didn't expect that. So I'm not mad at that. It's just this one sucks.
Yeah, raise your fist. I was like,
I didn't know that. Tiffany Stratton cites Charlotte Flair as her actual inspiration for being a wrestler, full on. So that's probably she just wants to match. She's like, let's do this shit.
Right.
She's gonna be on her back with a smile on her face. It'd be that way. 14 minutes for a 2 out of 3 falls match that I thought was going to be like one of the matches of the night.
First fall was at the 4-minute mark. Gotta go back to my notes here. The second fall was first fall DIY got actually I have it here at 3 minutes and 15 seconds. The second fall, Motor City Machine Guns got right around 9 minutes. And then after some involvement from Ford and Dawkins, DIY got the win in 14 minutes. Yeah, John, I'm with you. I expected this match to be longer. Not to get as much time as Cody and Kevin got, but I expected it to get like closer to the 20-minute mark, honestly, just considering what teams were in here. But that's not what we got. And then Dawkins and Ford, after attacking Motor City Machine Guns, they also attacked DIY. So yeah, fuck everybody.
Yeah, it's a heel turn though, right? Like, right? I think.
I'm not sure. Like, I mean, I guess. But weren't they kind of already supposed to be heels?
Like when they were with Lashley, they were heels, and then they became faces. Right. Because they were fighting Karrion Kross.
Oh, right, yeah. Jesus.
But did they ever go back?
I don't know. They've been off TV for a while.
Really sucked.
So yeah, that happened. That was just a disappointing finish to what was becoming a pretty good match. But yeah, I guess that's it for that one. It was short. Yeah.
Now we can talk about my my match of the fucking night.
Yeah,
awesome.
Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens in a ladder match for the WWE Championship. This went about 25, so they gave them a great amount of time. This match had some insane looking spots. The Canadian Dream, son of a security systems technician. I had fun taking about 8 minutes of this match, explaining all of Kevin Owens' shirts to my wife
tonight. This was like Kevin Owens and ladder matches. You know, people think
spaghetti,
you know,
and spaghetti and
yeah. The way people think of like the Hardys and Edge and Christian, like he should be synonymous with ladders like that, and I don't think he is. I don't think people really know, but I can count 1, 2, 3, 4 different ladder matches, and I can tell you like signature Kevin Owens ladder match spots. Yeah. Like he did them all here, plus more. It was awesome. This was awesome. This was like full ROH Kevin Steen shit, and Cody was game. Cody was game. Some of these spots were gnarly.
I was surprised that Cody took a couple of these, honestly, just considering that it's WrestleMania season. You don't want to. I mean, Cody's a trooper. I'm not saying that.
He's a maniac, because he set himself on fire, literally.
A lot of times, though, at the Rumble, you're not taking as big of chances, you know? You don't want to, last year.
Well, no, Rob, actually on Friday, Kevin Owens specifically called the thing down, and he was like, I want my belt. I want my belt.
So they must have given Cody's back just because, like, well, hell, we already lost KOs, so.
No, I don't know. Does Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn need that kind of stipulation if they have that match at WrestleMania? I don't know. I think it should just be no disqualification, and then they let them do what they do.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to go full ladder war at WrestleMania.
Max says WWE says Cody has quote unquote several injuries, which means he'll come out on SmackDown and do the roll with one arm. That is his signature sell. Steen Wolf, yes. Steen Wolf, Final Battle 2012.
Yep.
The fucking that WrestleMania Money in the Bank ladder match where him and Sami Zayn finally got to do spots together at WrestleMania. There's a couple other no disqualifications matches where he gets a use of a ladder and he does Kevin Owens things.
Was it Steen Erico against the Briscoes ladder war?
Yes. Yep. God damn it, yes. I love that match so much. Guys, like I said, Kevin Owens and ladders is synonymous to me.
Peanut butter and jelly, y'all. KO.
Homer on the fire hydrant ladder spot. That is the classic that I know. Like, how does his?
I don't know how he does it.
He's so good at this. He's so good at this shit.
Oh, at one point, his shirt came up tonight, and I was delighted to see that he's still wearing the singlet under the fight shorts and shirt.
I actually missed that, and I would have loved to see that because I was so
happy.
Did it have a little moonsault guy on it?
I couldn't tell that. I just saw the sheen of the fabric. I couldn't tell much more.
I would pop so fucking hard if he just has that on there. He did have a match with Finn at TakeOver, and let me tell you, Mac, I was there, and I don't remember that match. I was at that event, but nothing after Bayley versus Sasha registered.
Just stopped after that.
My memories stop after that. That Poison Rana, that fucking Poison Rana at the top rope changed my life. But yeah, they killed it.
Great match. We had Sami Zayn coming down, showing concern for both of his friends here in KO and Cody Rhodes, and so the spot they set up near the end of the match. KO is going for the package pile driver on the table. Cody sits up. Alabama slams him through the ladder. It looked like KO's neck got folded into his body like a transformer.
He looked like he died. He folded over into the ladder and just died.
He didn't move. Like, I'd like to know, from anybody in the crowd. Danny Ocean was in the audience and up in the press box. I wonder if he could tell us at some point how long KO laid there before he actually moved.
He also got busted.
When did that happen?
He got busted open. I want to say above his eye, right here. You see it, right? You can see the cut actually, right there. That's an incredible shot. First of all, they forced Cody to get back on the turnbuckle to get that shot. He got down, and you can see him like get back up there. I missed it, and then you got this shot right here, which is awesome. Good camera work from them. They haven't had things like this forever, man. Whoever is in charge now is very cool. But yeah, great match. Great story told. I'm curious to see where Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens go from here because, this is the first time Sami Zayn has come out for Kevin Owens, in a long time, right?
I think since was it KO's feud with Shane when he pulled KO off the table.
Well, there's that. No, there's that. Well, he did come out and interfere directly. But I mean, I forgot what happened. Either Sammy or KO got injured, and after their WrestleMania main event, and then they went their separate ways. And they haven't really addressed it. They just kind of floated away from each other.
Yeah, they've barely had them interact. There's been maybe a little passing kind of thing, but nothing. Yeah, nothing this concrete.
So this kind of tells me that we're about to go full steam ahead on something between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and I've got my mind and heart set on a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, I mean, they really, really got the hopes up with the promo. They did have that promo. Was that on Raw
Or SmackDown.
or the SmackDown where he was like they were talking about like he's like, hey, like I want you to win the Rumble, like I'll beat Cody, we can main event together, that whole thing. But yeah, they're going to have a hell of a match. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's going to be great, and they're doing a good job. They've kept them apart from feuding with one another for years, so it's like it's kind of like. Then I'm always impressed when they can keep Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens apart, as when I am they can keep Jean Grey dead in the comics. I'm always impressed when you can get those things.
She was dead for a decent
about 15 years.
Decent amount of time.
Yeah.
It's not the worst, not the best. Barry was dead for 23.
Yeah.
Alfred's been dead for 5 now, and that's scary. 6. That's scary shit. I didn't want this. I didn't expect this. I don't like this, and I want him back. I hate this, actually.
Jesus. But yeah, anything else on the main event? Or not the main event?
Man.
It
was the main event for me. No, that was my favorite Cody Rhodes WWE Championship defense, hands down. It beats the AJ match for me. They did a lot, man. And I know Cody Rhodes is a maniac and he does do crazy shit and he has set himself on fire and he's jumped, off, taking like front bumps off the top.
With that fucking tear.
Wrestled with the tear. Yep. But again, tonight was another one of those nights where it's like, this motherfucker works hard. Greg, thank you for bringing that up. How did you guys like the Royal Rumble ticker? Let me tell you something, Greg. When the fucking show first started, I saw the little things on the bottom and I said, this is really cool. I like this a lot, right? These are awesome. And then they didn't go away. And I was like, these are actually really distracting. Like they were trying to get some shots. Like there were some shots that were actively ruined by this giant ass ticker.
It was a large portion of the ring, and like you said, like you kind of thought it was going to give the information and then drop back off, but no, it gave continued information of like how long so and so had been in the ring, how many eliminations they'd had, like and that sort of thing. So like if they can like figure out a way next year to still implement this, but maybe dial it back a little bit. Just a little. So like overall, I like it conceptually and I think it's a good idea. But like I don't know that they might have went a little too hard with it. Like they could maybe ease up on it a bit. John, I feel like you're in the same camp there, right?
100%. I had myself muted again. Fuck.
100%. I was curious, but I could not hear you at all.
I agree with you 100%. I thought that it's a great idea. I enjoyed them. I hope that they use them again, but I hope they find a better way to use them. First of all, what's all this negative space under the ticker? They're like, well, what's that about? Like, drop that shit a whole inch.
Like, move that down, and then like, that itself might actually fix the problem.
What the fuck is that about? Like, why? Because you know what it is. They wanted it to remain consistent with when they have that double this shit right here. Oh no, but look, it's still a whole fucking space under there.
Yeah, it's part of the design. That's not good.
What the fuck is that? My graphic design is my passion. Or what is it? Yeah, it was fine. It was a good idea, but Robert says, "What are our thoughts on next year possibly going to night?" I don't think next year is 2 nights. I think it's an idea.
I don't think they're going to go 2 nights in Saudi. That'd be 2 afternoons when you think about it.
Yeah, no, but I think it's coming. I think it's the easiest one, and I'm surprised it has it. I'm surprised it wasn't first.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like, it's especially doing a women's rumble and a men's rumble. I think it would probably help the novelty of each one each night. Because, like, the thing is, when you do them in the same night, there's certain spots that you can't really double up on that maybe you could double up a little bit on if you stretched it out like that. But
Yeah.
I'm not really, I'm still torn, honestly, on how I feel about a lot of these pay-per-views getting split into 2 nights. I don't know. I guess I'd rather, 2 3-hour nights of WrestleMania than one, like, 7-hour, I guess. I don't know.
You know what? If it had just been WrestleMania, I would have been fine. You know, like they're doing. What are they doing? 2 SummerSlams
Yeah.
this year. What is the sense? What is the sense of that? Like you have the whole festival. Like you have the whole festival. You have the SmackDown, the pay-per-view. You're
Yeah.
doing NXT. And they don't label them NXT anymore. They're trying to trick you now. If they want grandma to bring the kid to the NXT show by accident because it said WWE Stand and Deliver. Oh, look, we brought you to the WWE show. It was cheaper. I don't know any of these people, grandma.
Oh man, who's Andre Chase? Why is it so sad?
They already had the whole combo situation. Like at this point, it's legit. Like we can make so much money.
They're going to push you too far. They're going to push you too far at some point.
Where do I get off like saying like they're greedy? Like that's just every single corporation. That greed is greed. Success begets greed. I feel like sentience begets greed. Like greed just is an inevitability. It just exists. It is what it is. It's fucked up though because I used to go to WrestleMania and now I'm like that's gonna take a lot more thought now. I'm not gonna. In SummerSlam, it looks like it's gonna be the same way. So
yeah.
Nature of the beast. It's our fault. It's our fault for throwing money into the fire.
We let him get too big. We let him get too strong. We should have been given the chicken steroids, guys. That's what happens. But hey, is that? I think that'll take us into our jobbers of the night.
Ooh, I gotta find that in here somewhere. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
It's not in here actually. That's good. Oh, because it's a pay-per-view. Okay.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Jobbers of the night. I picked Ludwig Kaiser. Because of what happened to him. Like the position, like you said, like it's like they're going for it. They're going for the time. But like dude just came in and just got unceremoniously dumped. And that was it for him. And it was really just more circumstance. And it's short, it's sweet, but it's Ludwig Kaiser for me tonight, John.
Oh fuck! I dropped my microphone.
Oh no! I thought you fell out of your chair. So dropping your mic is way better. I was like, oh shit! He just Dolph Zigglered it. Oh man.
No, Greg says his jobber of the night is Damian Priest's strange jawline. Yeah, my jobber of the night is actually I was gonna say both of them are my jobber of the night because what the fuck was that, guys? A host, like you doing a whole spot when you're not like. I guess it happens, but that's funny as hell. And both of you fucked up, and you made Drew McIntyre mad, and he is on a higher tier than you, both of you. So good luck. Good. I wonder what comes from that. But yeah, I guess looking at the nature of the complaint too, it's absolutely LA Knight and Logan Paul. Like, somebody had to get their shit in. Yeah. It's incredible stuff tonight. Yeah. Incredible scenes out of the Royal Rumble.
Oh my god. All right. So from there, the megastar John, who do you have as your megastar tonight?
My megastar is the easy one. It's easy because we had spent so much time talking about it, but how could you not?
Right there
How
with you.
could you not? How could you not? She is a star. I can't wait to see. Like we watched her grow into this into this. It's so cool to see that.
Phenomenal, just not just in the ring, but to be able to harness such a good babyface character and such a good heel character. And being a heel without being a complete chicken shit when you're small. Because
Yeah.
Roxy's not big, guys. Like, I'm sure y'all notice this. She's like 5 foot even. And a lot of times when you're that size and you go heel, they rely on the well, you got to have a heavy, and she has Cora with her, and Cora is obviously taller, but she doesn't wrestle like that. She still wrestles a strong style, not strong style. You know what I mean? She wrestles an assertive style.
She's feisty. She's feisty. She's
Aggressive.
aggressive. A certain evil man would call her a pit bull.
And when she turned heel, and I know she didn't hear this criticism from me, although I did say it. Someone else must have said it too, or probably Shawn Michaels. After the first few weeks of the heel turn, she stopped doing pop rocks. Or she would do pop rocks and then lock it into a crossface instead of going for the pin to be more aggressive and show a more violent side. And it's little things like that show just a true understanding of ring psychology. She's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I can't wait to see what WWE does with her. I am hoping and praying that they're not going to take the Lyra Valkyria route with her. But
let's page her. Let's give her the page treatment.
Greg says his megastar of the night is Liv Morgan for saving Lyra's top.
That was very kind of her. Boom, right to the face. Fix your top.
Max says job of the night is Tyler's internet provider.
Here's the thing. I think it's Unimox. I don't think it's my ISP. I honestly don't. I never had these issues before. So, and now I have it once a night. Come on, guys.
Yeah. There's a suspicious new X Factor.
A new Evie Mex X Factor.
So subtle.
That was strange. I'm sorry, guys.
Cole calls Ivy a pitbull tonight. Oh gosh, the terminology still exists within the company.
Yeah.
Hopefully the attitude doesn't though. But yeah, man, that was so fun. That was a great show. Boom, music time.
All right, yeah, guys, thank y'all. I'm with myself and Dirt Sheet Radio founder Sean Escudero. I've got wonderful news for you. We're here every day, guys. We are here Monday nights for Raw. We are here Tuesday nights for NXT, Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for TNA Impact, and Fridays, of course, for SmackDown. And on Wednesdays late in the night, you can tune into the Dirt Sheet Radio flagship program. And if you're like me, just check it out Thursday morning. We'll be there early in the morning for you guys. And also, in addition to the rewinds week in and week out, on the weekends we have programming as well. On Sundays, myself and CJ Carter, we have the Weekend Wrestling Roundup with the W, where we break down what stories that we would like to discuss from that weekend wrestling. And also, John, you've got something going on every week with some fellows on Sundays, right?
That's right, 3NT Wrestling live on Dirt Sheet Radio every single Sunday. Shout out to DJ Danny Ocean out in Indianapolis for the Royal Rumble at the press junket, doing the interviews, representing Kiss FM North Carolina, 3NT Wrestling, and Dirt Sheet Radio all at the same time. He is a megastar. He is the best. Thank you, Danny Ocean, for everything you do for us. Tyler, thank you for being here with me tonight. For Tyler, for myself, for the Dirt Sheet Radio team, for Molly Holly, for Greg, Mac, Robert, and everybody in the comments, thank you for joining us tonight. Follow, subscribe to us, hit the bell, right? That's what they like to say. Hit that bell, some notifications, turn them on. Join us again on Monday so we can talk about the fallout of the Royal Rumble.
It's gonna be big.
We'll see you guys. Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeet.
Yeet. It's hard not to yeet tonight of all nights. Yeet.
Yeetomania.